and Cordell is a person who hasn't shown his true potential, I believe. I think Cordell has the potential for even greater things than we've seen from him in the first 3 games. You mentioned Jason Robbins, who got 67 yards. Patrick Gaither had 46 in the game, but only on 8 carries. That's an average of 5.8 per carry. So again, the Rams will look for big things there. And by the way, before we begin here, we want to give special thanks to the Hard Luck Cafe, who fed the dynamic duo before tonight's Newton Rams Lithia Springs Lions game. And again, to the folks at the Hard Luck Cafe, the best hot wings in town, we appreciate your feeding us this evening.
That's right. Craig and Stan working over there today. They did us up right, and we're ready to bring Newton Ram football courtesy of the Hard Luck.
West Billingsley will be kicking off, so we can deduce that the Lithia Springs Lions will be receiving here. And their men that are back to receive are Taji Rich and Randy Johnson, a pair of seniors, back to receive for the Lithia Springs Lions from the Lions Den at Lithia Springs High School. The Rams will look to go to 4-0 and start their sub-region play at 4-0 if they can win tonight. That's something that no other Rams team has been able to say for 13 years, since back at the beginning of the Reagan administration, 1981. And Gary Brown is back in the action. A special side note, Gary Brown was taken off on a stretcher last week, but Bill, he is back in there. We'll talk about that coming up in just a moment, but here is West Billingsley with the kickoff as 2 of the Lions back to receive. We're about set to begin from the Lions Den, and here is the kick. It is a high one, end over end toward the 10-yard line. It's going to be taken. 2 men collide. Johnson takes it at the 10, goes to the 20, stop there, stuffed and brought down at the 19-yard line. A 50-yard kick and a 9-yard return, and Lithia Springs will start deep in their own territory.
Excellent open field tackle on the play there. I couldn't quite get the number on who made the play, but it was a good, clean tackle. And leaving Lithia Springs not in real good field position to start out. A good high kick by Billingsley caused a short return there.
One of the men that was in on the hit for the Rams was Rico Williams, a junior, who you're going to hear quite a bit from in the rest of this season, of course, all of next year as well. But, of course, look for big things from Marcelo Baines along that front. Lithia Springs taking the handoff and giving to a back who goes to the 22-yard line. The quarterback is Shane Head. He is only a sophomore, so he has been given a pretty big responsibility here early on in his prep career as he hands off to Leonard Benjamin, a junior.
The right side of the Ram line that time managed to shut that play down pretty well. Linebackers helped to close on it. They only picked up about 2 yards. That Ram front line has been really tough so far this year on the run. They're starting off in a good way tonight.
Second down now, Lithia Springs, 7 yards to go. They'll be on their own 20-yard line. The Rams employing a 4-man front and 4 linebackers up close to give toward the near sideline to Jamar Jones. And Jones, after gaining to the 25, is hit hard and brought down. It'll bring up 3rd down and fair yardage situation.
Michael Brooks closed well from the linebacker spot, coming up over the top and putting them down to where bringing up 3rd and long situation, so the Rams need to hold here again.
Jamar Jones listed at 6'4", 216, and he's only a sophomore. If the Rams play Lithia Springs in future years, you can bet you'll hear some big things out of Mr. Jamar Jones. Shane Head over center. Head takes the snap and fumbles it at the 23-yard line. We'll check and see who has the football. Lithia Springs appeared to jump back on top of it. Shane Head took the handoff in good shape, and he was going toward the Lithia Springs sideline when he fumbled the football.
Looked like one of his linemen might have bumped into it on the play. The Rams had a good push into it, and it looked like they might have pushed one of the linemen into him, causing him to fumble the ball, but they did fall on it. I believe the quarterback did manage to land on it, but they're going to have to punt now.
It'll be 4th down and 7 yards to go with 9:50 left in the first quarter. No score. The man who is on to punt is Ben Mullenix. Mullenix's punt is a high one toward the Lithia Springs sideline. Cordell Benton watches it cross midfield and bounce out of bounds at the 49-yard line. It's going to be a punt of roughly 30 yards from the senior kicker, Ben Mullenix of Lithia Springs, and the Rams near midfield have a chance, good field position, a chance to score early on.
That was not a real good punt. He got a little bit of roll out of it, but not much. The Rams put a good rush on it. They came real close to blocking the punt that time.
And the Rams take over on downs at their own 49-yard line. So 51 yards away from their first score. They're going to try to drive downfield, and you can bet we'll see a lot of Jack Cook football. The wishbone formation is there. We see Patrick Gaither in there, Cordell Benton, Adrian Carr. One wide out for the Rams. The give to Gaither. Gaither stuffed at the line. Tries to go toward the far sideline to gain some yardage, but the Lithia Springs defense was all over that. They were not fooled by the handoff to Mr. Gaither.
Not at all. They played that very well. He tried to go bounce off the hit and go back outside, and they had a good wall of containment on the outside. So it looked like they were pretty well prepared for that first play from the wishbone.
A loss of 2. It'll be 2nd down and 12 for the Rams. They've only allowed 15 points of the Ram defense, and they stop Lithia Springs 3 and out on their first drive here in this one. That's a big advantage, especially when you're playing in the other team's park. Kareem Maddox will take it on the option, has it himself to the 40-yard line. The pitch to Gaither. Gaither is still up. He's at the 35, and he's knocked out of bounds. Close to where some of the referees and the folks on the Rams sideline are standing. Kareem Maddox with a very smart pitch there, but that also could have been dangerous.
It was a little risky. I was a little leery as I saw the ball flying through the air. Maddox made a great move cutting into the open field there. They were once again trying to take the short back coming through the middle, and he got outside, and then before getting hit, got the pitch for an extra 5 yards on the play.
So a first down for the Rams. They're at the Lithia Springs 37-yard line. Once again, the wishbone formation with one wideout. It looks like Danny Sisko out there at the wideout position. Maddox again goes toward that sideline, spins off one tackler, but then is brought down at the 35. He may have gained a yard or two. He had one good spin move to avoid the loss of yardage, but ended up with not much of a gain on the play.
They defensed that play considerably better as he went towards the hole. There was no hole. They came up on him. As you say, he made one good spin move. Looked like he might break loose, but then they closed again from the outside.
This Lithia Springs defense actually looking fairly strong in the early going. They look like a team that has some spurts of greatness, and of course, as you probably read in the Covington newspaper, Coach Homer Hector mentioned that this team is capable of playing very well at times, but they've also shot themselves in the foot at various times. Maddox goes over his center. Marcelo Baines gives the handoff to Patrick Gaither, gains a yard, maybe 2, and he's brought down there by Brad Krilla, the big senior linebacker.
The Lithia Springs defense is playing really tough all along the front line. The Rams aren't getting a real good push off at any of the up-close running plays to the fullback on the wishbone are having trouble getting going. The Rams aren't really coming off their blocks real well at this point in time, and Lithia's playing pretty tough on them.
3rd down and 5. Will we see the passing attack of the Rams? They've actually been very effective on 3rd down plays. We saw a couple of big completions to Sisko, the man who we'll have to start calling the Sisko Kid. He's had a couple of big ones. This time it's a pitch toward the Rams sideline. Cordell Benton does not have a first down as the Lithia Spring Lion defense all over it immediately, and a gain of a yard, perhaps 2 yards.
Well, I kind of thought we would see the passing play going there, but they thought maybe Cordell could get outside with his good speed and pick up the first down. Now it's 4th down. Looks like the Rams are going to go ahead and go for it at this point in time.
Rams benefited from a good spot. It's on the 29-yard line, which means 4th down and about 2.5 yards to go for a first down. The Rams figure since they're this deep in Lithia Spring Lion territory, they're going to go ahead and go for it here with the wishbone formation. Sisko splits out wide toward the Rams sideline. Maddox ready. He takes the snap. Adrian Carr has it, and he is brought down for a loss by the Lithia Spring Lion defense. The man that hit him, Rodney Moore, a senior, brings down Carr and stops the Ram drive cold.
What a great play by Rodney Moore there. Just excellent penetration, knife through, basically seemed to appear coming through untouched. Made a good clean tackle on Adrian and dropped him for a loss on the play, and they take over.
Now Lithia Springs will be on their own 32. A little better field position than last time. Not much, though. 6:21 remaining in your first quarter. Still no score. The Rams and Lithia Springs Lions have each had a drive. Each couldn't do very much. The give to Leonard Benjamin, but Benjamin is spun and brought down behind the line of scrimmage. The Ram defense, somebody broke through there for the Rams and brought that man down before he could cross the line.
Excellent play by the member of the Ram front four. We're kind of far from the field. It's hard to see all the numbers all the time, but an excellent play there. I believe it might have been Greg Benson that made the play there.
It's either that or if it's somebody who's really fast, you usually can guess Marcelo Baines and be right. That man has made some tremendous plays. He is as quick a person on the defensive line as we have seen for either team, Rams or their opponents this year. Shane Head will take the snap. He will give, and a gain of 2 or 3 yards as the back goes up the middle. It'll bring up a 3rd down situation. Still long yardage for Lithia Springs. The ball is spotted on the 38.
Rams still playing real tough on the defensive line. They're not giving up big chunks of yardage, which is what they're going to have to do. It appears that Lithia Springs wants to come out and try to run the ball at them, and I don't believe they have a real vaunted passing attack.
Lithia Springs band getting that crowd into the game right here at the Lions Den. That's a nice name here for the Lithia Springs High School Stadium. The give is to Jamar Jones. Jones had a little bit of room out here on the near sideline, but they closed it up to the Ram defense in a hurry, and it's 4th down and at least 4 yards to go.
Courtney Williams closed in fast and made a good hit on the play there, and the Rams managed to stop them with just a short gain on 3rd down there, so they're going to get the ball back again.
4th down from the 39, and Mullenix will punt again, and back to receive for the Newton Rams will be Adrian Carr and Cordell Benton. So the second punt here for Ben Mullenix. His first one was 30 yards. He gets kind of a high snap, but gets off a little better punt this time. Benton will take it at the 32-yard line. He ran into Carr. Now he's got some room at the 40, but they're going to rule him at the 32-yard line that he was down when he hit Adrian Carr.
Evidently he went down, appeared to go down to one knee as they bumped into each other. Kind of a risky play there. The Lithia Springs players were closing fast on the kick coverage. I kind of kept waiting for a hand to go up and a fair catch there. Cordell made the catch. Would have gotten outside, but they ruled him down on the play.
Rams once again start in their own territory. They're at their own 32. Patrick Warren is in at the split end position. He'll be guarded by Randy Johnson, who, by the way, is 5'9", so don't see any correlation between him and the Randy Johnson most folks know from Major League Baseball. The give is to Adrian Carr. Has a little bit of room on the left side to the 40 and slides at the 45-yard line. He must have slipped. There are some puddles out near the Lithia Springs sideline, but just suddenly as he got to the 44, he slid as if he was sliding into second base.
It looked like he was trying to pull a little juke move on the defender there and cut back towards the middle of the field, and as you say, his feet came out completely from underneath him, and he slid in, and he beat the tag, so we'll call him safe.
Yeah, he was safe, and for a first down it was, so to the 45-yard line, first down for the Rams, still in their own territory at the 45. The clock continues to tick. It's been ticking away without any points going on the scoreboard. Still scoreless from Lithia Springs High School Rams and Lithia Springs Lions. Now 3:29 left in the first quarter of action. A little different look this time for the Rams, a wing T-type formation. Patrick Gaither takes the handoff and gains 3 or 4 yards. Kind of shuffles out there sideways before he's brought down by 5 or 6 defenders from that Lion defense.
Appears to be kind of a slow field out there. Patrick didn't really have real good footing there. Like you say, he was kind of shuffling, wasn't really trying to go north and south on the play. And as evidenced on the previous play where Adrian slipped, I think there is going to be some footing problems out there. They must have had some pretty heavy rains here, as is evidenced by the puddles.
Well, for anybody who is associated with Ram football, if it's Football Friday, it must be rain. Actually, it's not raining right now, fortunately, but you're right. They did get some heavy rains here and throughout the city of Atlanta earlier today. Maddox will take the handoff on second down. He's got some room to the sideline, to the 40-yard line. He gains a first down. And into Lithia Springs Lion territory. That speed of Kareem Maddox is quite amazing, and we haven't seen it a whole lot until this game, but Maddox 2 or 3 times has found a great hole over on the right side, the left side of the defense.
That's correct. His rushing statistics haven't been very good so far, but he is showing that good burst of speed off to the side there. The nose tackle for Lithia Springs, Jeremy Reed, chased him down from behind. He penetrated, almost got to Kareem before he could make the move, stayed on him, fouled him, and managed to catch him from behind. Quite a move for somebody that size. Playing nose guard.
The ball at the 39-yard line now. First down for the Rams. Again, back in the wishbone formation. They pitch to Adrian Carr. Carr is to the 35. He's still up to the 30. I don't think he'll quite make a first down, but he's brought down by several folks. Jeremy Reed, one of the folks in there. That's a senior at 5'9", 174 along that defensive front. And as you mentioned, another person with quite a bit of speed.
Absolutely. Good move there by Adrian. He did give a little spinorama move there that picked up a couple extra yards and got him real close to the first down.
It'll be second down, 1 yard. 1:45 now left in the first quarter. Still scoreless. Marcelo Baines, the center, over the football. Maddox over Baines, and the Lithia Spring Lion defense, a 5-man front, is ready to go. Maddox finds a little room, pitches out to Cordell Benton. Benton with some room on the far sideline to the 25, to the 23. He may have gone out of bounds there. He did, and the clock is stopped with 1:27 left. Another first down for the Rams.
He's got a flag down.
And there'll be a flag down on the play.
Probably holding.
The call is holding against the Newton County Rams, so it'll be backed up 5 yards and be backed up 10 yards, pardon me, and it'll be from the 26-yard line. So scratch that first down that we were celebrating. It's going to be a second down situation. Replay the down from probably about the 36-yard line.
Actually, Kareem executed so well on that play, too, because he held on to the ball till the last possible minute and then made the good pitch to Cordell Benton and picked up what would have been good yardage. I didn't detect the hold on the play. Must have been somewhere in the interior of the line, which helped to open up the outside there.
So the ball is now on the 39-yard line. It's a 1-yard gain and then the 10-yard penalty against the Newton Rams. They've had some trouble with penalties at various times. They've had certain games where they've had more trouble than others, of course. But it's something that the Rams will have to work on headed into sub-region play. And we've got another flag down. Jumping off sides was Jeremy Reed that time. In fact, Doug Parrish, the Rams' offensive guard, was knocked over. When Reed came across the line, he literally knocked Parrish over, so I think that call will go against the Lions.
Well, he did what he had to do because even though someone breaks into the neutral zone, you can't move because they can still get back before the snap. So he had to take the shot almost like a charge in basketball. You give yourself up.
And a wise play on the part of Doug Parrish. Second down from the 34. We've got a minute and 10 and ticking here in the first quarter. A low-scoring game and a 0 on the opponent's side of the scoreboard. We've seen it throughout the year from the Rams. The give to Adrian Carr. Carr looking for some room. Goes around a man on the sideline to the 20, to the 15. A first down for the Rams. Taji Rich, a man for the Lithia Springs Lions, was coming down toward the sideline. Adrian Carr had so much speed, he came up and around Rich on the sideline and ran past him to the 15.
Great move by Adrian Carr on the play there. He turned what looked like maybe a loss or a very short gain into a great play. And that was just pure speed, and as coaches will tell you, that's something you can't teach. He just got outside and literally just outran him.
Kareem Maddox comes back in. He's got the play that he wants. There's 39 seconds left in the first quarter. The Rams may try to delay and wait to the beginning of the second quarter to push it across. It's on the 14-yard line. That ball resting right there, 14 yards away from a score and the first points of this game. This will probably be the last play of the first quarter unless it's an incomplete pass or gone out of bounds. There's a pass up, and it is incomplete. The intended receiver on that one was Richie Cleary. The ball was overthrown just a little bit, and Cleary kind of stumbled at the last moment. That's what dropped the ball for him.
And he was wide open. There wasn't anybody on that side of the field at all. He broke loose from the tight end position. Nobody picked him up. Great play that was called, and it appeared it was going to be executed perfectly, but it looked like Richie, as you say, stumbled a little bit, and the ball just went through his hands.
Substitution for the Lions. Brad Krilla comes back in. Stephen Edwards splits back out toward the sideline. The big linebacker Krilla will be back in the action here on second down. There will be 18 seconds left, so perhaps this will be the last play of the first quarter. Maddox looking toward the far sideline, pitches out to Cordell Benton. Benton tries to go east-west, and it hurts him there as he's brought down. Instead of going straight forward, he kind of waited for the defender, and the defender got to him at about the 13-yard line. That'll do it for your first quarter of action. No score here from Lithia Springs High School. Rams 0 and Lions 0. And might the Rams be looking for their third shutout? Of course, they've got to put some points on the scoreboard if they hope to win. We'll be back with your second quarter right after this on WGFS AM 1430. Ram football is made possible by the folks at East Metro Communications, your local authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular.
It's September's Best Buys of the Month going on now at Mayfield Ace Hardware. GE soft white light bulbs, you pay $1.34 minus a $1 rebate for a final cost of only 34 cents. Lufkin 1-inch by 25-foot high-vis power tape, $5.88 each. Ace Hardware 100% silicone sealant, $2.49 each. And Ace 5-star semi-gloss latex enamel, only $8.88 a gallon. That's September's Best Buys of the Month going on now at Mayfield Ace Hardware on the Square and in Newton Plaza.
Today's business relies on communication. A two-way radio system provides communication instantly. For information about two-way radio, visit East Metro Communications, this area's oldest dealer in communications equipment. East Metro Communications is locally owned and operated. That means you get good hometown service before and, most importantly, after the sale. East Metro Communications is conveniently located on Highway 278, a quarter mile east of the hospital in Covington, or call them at 786-6796.
Welcome back to the Lions 10 in Lithia Springs. And for your play-by-play, Kevin Holden.
Bill Dolan, thank you very much. The dynamic duo bringing you Rams football. The Rams, third down on the Lithia Springs 12-yard line to start this drive, and the pass from Kareem Maddox nearly intercepted. Danny Sisko was the intended receiver. That was a dangerous pass, kind of a timing play. He spotted the ball and let Sisko run to the ball. The only problem, Randy Johnson was standing right there as well. He nearly picked the pass off.
He had better position on the ball than Danny Sisko did, and the pass was not extremely well thrown, kind of fluttered a little bit like a wounded duck.
Fourth down from the 12-yard line. Wes Billingsley is on the field to attempt what would be about an 28 or 29-yard field goal attempt. I've got to take into account the 10 yards of the end zone, of course. Fourth down and 12. Billingsley trying to put some points on the scoreboard here for the Rams. Snap is good. Hold is good. The kick is up. And the kick is good. And Wes Billingsley has broken a bit of a drought. He was 0 for 2 in field goal attempts last week, but he puts 3 on the scoreboard here to make it Newton County 3, Lithia Springs nothing. You are listening to Newton Ram football, courtesy of East Metro Communications, your local source for cellular phones, pagers, or two-way radio systems.
Ladies and gentlemen, you don't want to miss out on these new arrivals at Hayes Furniture Company of Covington. They have a new shipment of gun cabinets just in time for the holidays. Hayes Furniture has corner cabinets and curio cabinets. And to help you ladies keep the house clean, Hayes has a wide selection of Hoover vacuum cleaners, upright and canister styles, along with shampooers and steam cleaners with supplies of bags and belts. That's right at Hayes Furniture on Washington Street, Covington, 786-3737.
Welcome back to Lithia Springs. The news is good for Newton Rams as they have just kicked a field goal to take a 3-0 lead. And now back with the play-by-play, Kevin Holden.
Wes Billingsley will be kicking off. We're looking for Tony Dow and Jerry Mathers as the Beaver. We'll let you know if we locate either of them. Back to receive Taji Rich and Randy Johnson. Here comes the kick from Billingsley. This one a stronger one than the first one. It is caught at the 9-yard line by Taji Rich. Make that Randy Johnson. Johnson is up to the 28-yard line. That's a 19-yard return after a 51-yard kick.
Good kick on the play by Billingsley. Got it up real high and strong. Rams didn't cover quite as well as they did the first one. But once again, Lithia Springs not in real good field position, so the defense has to hold.
So far in this game, Lithia Springs has picked up a total of 10 yards rushing and no yards passing, so the Ram defense has certainly done its job. It'll be first down for the Lions. They're at their own 27-yard line. The wing tee set. Shane Head hands off to Leonard Benjamin. Benjamin is across the 30 to the 32, a gain of roughly 5 yards, and that will equal their best carry of the night so far. Jones had a carry of 5 yards a couple of plays back in the first quarter.
Good blocking up front on the play by Lithia Springs there. They moved the whole front line of the Rams back about 3 yards right after the snap, and he just kind of fell forward and picked up 5 yards.
So a second down and a long 4, short 5 here for Lithia Springs. Once again with the wing tee set, Warren Johnson, one of the folks out on the near sideline. They give to Benjamin, and Benjamin is swarmed by that Ram defense. He got nowhere past the line of scrimmage, and that Ram defense, 7 or 8 folks sending him back. That's got to be kind of scary to see that, 7 or 8 folks coming right at you.
Appears we got an injured Lithia Springs player on the play. On that particular play, the quarterback and running back bumped into each other. That threw the timing off, and that allowed the Rams to come in full tilt and just stop it dead in its tracks. They
give him the forward momentum, and that takes him to the 35, a 2-yard gain. The person coming off the field has been calling him Jamar Jones. Mr. Jones listed twice in the roster there, but Warren Johnson is number 5. Shane Head, the QB. Lithia Springs with 1 wide out. This time around, they may be looking to pass. Now there's some open field, and the quarterback will look to run. He slips and falls at the 37-yard line. He could have had some serious gains there. Don't think he had a first down. He slipped and fell at the last moment.
He did, and they're marking the spot at the 35, so it's going to be 4th down on the play. He had plenty of room to get through. Once again, when he went to make the cut, the feet came out from underneath him. The field really appears to be slippery on any type of a cut move.
So once again, Lithia Springs will be looking to punt. And Ben Mullinax will be the man to do that. And back to receive, we've got just one man this time, and that's Cordell Benton. Rams may be trying to rush it. They are. It may get blocked. It is. It's blocked. And the Rams are going to take the football at the 27-yard line. Who's got it? He's going to score. It's a touchdown for the Rams. Now we've got to find out who it is that has the football. He's a dirty man right now because he just fell in a puddle. That's Telly Smith. Smith blocks the punt, recovers it for the touchdown. Rams lead it 9-0. What a play.
And you certainly called that with just a single safety back. They came 10 men on the line, and there was no doubt about it. They broke through immediately, and you could tell it was going to be blocked. It was stuffed, and they got the good bounce up to Telly Smith. He picked it up, had an escort of about 3 players with him, and went into the end zone.
By the way, who do you think was one of the first people in there to block the punt? Marcelo Baines. He is as fast as anybody, and then to attempt the extra point, Wes Billingsley. Marcelo Baines has been all over it as far as defense is concerned. He has made some tremendous plays, and he helped in the block punt there. The snap on the extra point is not good, but Danny Cisco didn't rescue it. We thought he may have, but Billingsley's kick is not good, so it will remain 9-0. Newton County, I thought maybe Cisco had saved that one for taking a bad snap and giving him a good hold, but he did not. It's 9-0 Newton Rams, and we're going to be back with more right after this. Live game transmission courtesy of East Metro Communications, your local authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular.
And welcome back to the Lions Den in Lithia Springs. Rams about to kick off because they just scored a touchdown, and with the play-by-play, Kevin Holden.
Billingsley misses the extra point and will try to atone for that here on the kickoff. Once again, Lithia Springs with the same 2 folks back to receive. They kick it toward Taji Reach, but it's over his head and into the end zone. There's a 60-yard kick. We hadn't seen it all night from Billingsley. But there's a flag down on the play. We'll check and see what that is. It's a touchback otherwise, but the flag will probably interfere with that.
I believe it's going to be offsides on the Rams there. One of the players got ahead of the kick there, so they'll bring it back and have to kick it again from 5 yards back, and that's a shame with the boot he got into it. That ball actually went 61 yards as it landed about 1 yard deep. He really got the foot into it.
So we'll try it again from the 35-yard line, and the fans get to get on their feet and make lots of noise for the second play in a row. They don't mind that a bit, I'm sure. Rams 9, Lithia Springs Lions nothing. 9:16 left in the second quarter of action. The Rams, in 3 plays so far, have scored 9 points. They came up with a field goal early in the second quarter and then blocked a punt. Telly Smith ran that one in for a touchdown. Billingsley missing the extra point.
You can't really fault Billingsley on that extra point. It was a bad snap. It was a good job of getting the ball placed by Danny Cisco, and he got the kick off and got it up high enough, but he didn't hook it enough, and it stayed out to the right side.
Well, from the 35, it's going to be awfully difficult to boot it into the end zone. Even that last kick from Billingsley would not have landed in the end zone had it been kicked from the 35, so you can imagine that we'll see either Taji Rich or Randy Johnson taking the ball here off the kick from Billingsley. And here it is. The kick is up and a high one, once again headed toward Rich's side. He will take the ball running after it, takes it at the 5-yard line, is out to the 10, to the 15, and there's it. The ball's on the ground. I think one of the Lions players fell on top of the ball, and that is quite a break for Taji Rich and the Lithia Springs Lions. They do have the football. He fumbled it at the 17-yard line. Somebody hit him from behind and knocked the ball loose.
It squirted out, and one of the Rams had a chance to fall on it, and as he went down, it squirted away from him, and then the Lithia Springs player was able to corral it and keep the ball. But a very good kick by Billingsley, and mishandled a little bit by the deep man, letting it roll that much, and that's what caused the problems as he came upfield.
Now we'll see how Lithia Springs marches downfield, if they elect to try to pass here or if they try to run a bunch of time off the clock and just try to run it in. Of course, they've got a long, long way to go. We give this time to Benjamin. Benjamin has some serious room. He's in open field at midfield to the 50, 45, 40, to the 35, to the 30, to the 25, and brought down at the 25-yard line. Remember how I said they had a bunch of field left to cover? Scratch that last statement. 3 of the Ram defenders finally bring him down. But that Benjamin had a tremendous amount of speed, got that burst of speed up the middle, immediately was past midfield, and the Rams, like Torrance McCullum, had to go chase him down to what the ball will be spotted at, which is the 23-yard line.
Great burst of speed, got a good block up the middle. Once he hit the line of scrimmage, he was off to the races, and fortunately, as you mentioned, McCollum was able to pull him down with some help from his friends. 55-yard gain there from Benjamin. First down now at the Newton 23-yard line, and you get the feeling this time that Lithia Springs won't be pulling anything fancy. They're going to go to their strength here and try to put that ball in probably with the running game. 8:34 left in the second quarter. Well, there was no scoring in the first quarter, but it looks like the second quarter may change all of that and make up for the lack of scoring.
They've got a man in motion to the Lithia Springs Lions. They hand off once again to Benjamin, and once again Benjamin has some open field. He's past the 10-yard line and brought down there. James Jackson, one of the men in on the hit, as was Torrance McCullum and Gary Brown. But another big gain from Benjamin. This one is going to be about 15 yards.
The offensive line of Lithia Springs is just opening up some gaping holes right now. The Rams need to stay at home a little better on that defensive front, protecting their positions, and they didn't get a whole lot of support from the deep backs there either. And just a great burst of speed got them that yardage there.
Before this drive started, the Lithia Springs Lions had a total of 18 rushing yards. Make that 88 rushing yards now. They picked up 70 on the last 2 plays alone. Lithia Springs is going to take a timeout, and while they do, we will also take a timeout. Newton Rams football, courtesy of East Metro Communications, your local source for cellular phones, pagers, or two-way radio systems.
Don't horse around with your choice of feed. FRM horse feeds are a proper balance of protein and nutrients with a blend of rich grains and protein meals, cane molasses, vitamins and minerals. FRM horse feeds promote sleek, shiny coats and plenty of energy. FRM horse feeds and minerals. Available now at your FRM dealer.
That's the Farm and Garden Depot of Covington, located at 4125 Emory Street, 787-3870.
Welcome back to Lithia Springs. Newton defense needs to tighten up a little bit, and with the play-by-play, Kevin Holden.
Hopefully the Rams can buckle down. They did it last week late in the ball game with a 2-touchdown lead. Here they've got a 9-point lead, 8:11 remaining in the second quarter of action. The ball on the 8-yard line. Shane Head, the sophomore quarterback for the Lions, is going to take it. He's going to give it, and stuffed for nada at the line of scrimmage was Rob Stroud. Stroud was brought down probably for a loss of 2 or 3.
And who was it, of course? Marcelo Baines. He broke through the line of scrimmage, made a great play, and dropped him for a loss on the play. That brings the ball back to the 10, so it's second and goal from the 10.
That's one of the things that you need to be a successful football team. You've got to have at least one really, really fast or quick or strong man along the line, a person who can get to the quarterback and the running backs as quickly as possible. The strength of that line is so unheralded, but yet it's one of the keys to winning football games. Head goes over center. Takes the handoff, and there's a flag on the play. Actually, it was not a handoff. Shane Head went down on the play. Looked like he handed the ball off, but he was hit late by a couple of the Ram defenders, and that's probably going to be a penalty against Newton County.
I believe they're going to call a personal foul on the play since the play had already been blown dead once he hit the ground. Unfortunately, David Johnson kind of fell on top of him, and they're going to call the unsportsman or the personal foul.
It was a loss of 8 yards on the play. But that will be easily negated by the penalty against the Rams, which is half the distance to the goal line, which will be a total of 9 yards. That, folks, is 24 penalty yards on 3 penalties against the Rams already here in a quarter and a half.
Those are the kind of penalties that really hurt you. Those are the ones you want to try to avoid, any type of personal foul or type of penalty like that, especially after you make a good defensive play. You've pushed them back for another loss, and now you turn around and put them right back in position.
Leonard Benjamin is back in the action. The halfback, Andy McNeil, is back out to the sideline, so they may try to go back to Benjamin, a man who got 2 big explosive gains in the first 2 plays of this drive. So far it's gone 4 plays and a total of 71 yards. Second down from the Ram 9, third down, make that from the Ram 9-yard line.
And the man with the stripes on is over explaining something to the Lithia Springs coach. There must have been some kind of problem after that penalty, but he appears to have gotten it straightened out, and we're ready to go back again.
It's 7 minutes and 21 seconds left here. The Newton Rams with a pair of shutouts already this year. They beat Redan 3-0 in a driving rainstorm, and Heritage 14-0 in the same type of rainstorm at Homer Sharp Stadium. Shane Head will give to one of his backs who was close to a touchdown. Benjamin fell a couple of yards short, though. The Rams secondary brought him down, and now the Rams really get to test themselves out with a goal line stand here. That may have been a first down.
No, it was a goal. They were goal to go, so
They've got to go. They're going to score.
It's going to be 4th down on the play here, and I believe they're going to kick a field goal, Kevin.
The 7-yard run from Benjamin sets up a 4th down situation. It was 3rd and goal to go, so they will attempt the field goal. And the man who'll be doing that appears to be Mullinex. the senior who appears to handle most of the kicking duties, or all of the kicking duties for the Lithia Springs Lions. 4th down from the 2. A 19-yard field goal attempt. The snap is a little bit high, but is pulled down well, and the kick is up and good. And Lithia Springs breaks the shutout, so we can stop all of our talk about that. It is 9-3. Your Newton Rams on top, and we're going to be back with more right after this on WGFS AM 1430, live game transmission courtesy of East Metro Communications, your local authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular.
Why do people go to Pippin's Barbecue? Because they've heard about the great food, great service, and great prices. Pippin's Barbecue has delicious baby back ribs, Brunswick stew, and smoked chicken. But no matter what you try, you're gonna love what you eat at Pippin's Barbecue.
Our food and our service just can't be beat. You're gonna love what you eat.
Pippin's Barbecue, Highway 20 South in Conyers and on Alcovey Road in Covington.
And welcome back to the Lions Den. Lithia Springs prepares to kick off after a field goal, scored 9-3, and with the play-by-play, Kevin Holden.
Ben Mullenax will be kicking off for the Lithia Springs Lions. It's 9-3. The Rams have put one touchdown across, but they haven't done anything on offense. That touchdown came after a blocked punt where Telly Smith ran it in, and that's something that Jack Cook and his Rams have got to be concerned about, Bill.
Absolutely. He was talking earlier today about putting the ball in the end zone. They had a couple of drives where they moved the ball downfield. They did get the field goal, and another drive that stalled out. So hopefully they can get the sustained drive going here and put the ball in the end zone from the offensive point of view.
The ball falls off the tee, so Mullenax has to reset and be ready to go. 6 minutes, 21 seconds left. Carr and Benton, your two men back to receive as Mullenax kicks off. It's a line drive kick. It bounces once. And down on one knee at the 29-yard line is Patrick Gaither. The Newton County coaches up here in the press box wanted him to run that ball. He took it actually at the 24. It's a 36-yard kick. Gaither won't get a single yard of return. He may have had some serious gain there. There was no one near him.
It was wide open. It took one hopping right to him. I'm kind of surprised that he did go down on his knees and down it. Normally that's what you see a big lineman do when it's up front, but that's a running back there that had his hands on the ball and could have picked up probably 10 or 15 yards up the gut.
So the Rams will start kind of deeper in their own territory from their own 25-yard line. This is the worst field position they've had of their three drives so far. They've started in their own territory all three times. Back to the wishbone formation. Maddox hands off, and Gaither with about a 4-yard gain over the left side of the line. He may be at the 30-yard line.
Pretty quick burst there over left tackle. He managed to squirt outside and fall forward, and, well, looks like he got kind of a bad spot there. They're going to mark it back about the 28.5.
So a gain of 3.5 to 4 yards. Second down, about 6 left to go. We're a little over 5 minutes left. The Rams clinging to the 6-point lead. I'm sure they'd like to extend that before they head into the locker room for halftime. Marcelo Baines will be snapping to Kareem Maddox here on a second down play. Gaither takes it again, same spot. Charging hard forward. A good run from Gaither. Gaither performing like a fullback, even though he has spent a lot of time at a halfback and tailback position. He is also very adept at running like a fullback, and he got the first down there.
Yes, he did good straight power running. He went north and south, wasn't playing around, just kept going and finished the play with lowering his head and delivering a hit to the defensive back, and that's what got him the first down.
It is the 5th time in this first half that the Rams have a first down. The first time, though, here in the second quarter, they'll be at their own 37 with a first down and 10-yardage situation. One wide out to the right side. There's a pitch to the near sideline. A good block for Cordell Benton, who is at the 41 and brought down there. A slew of Lion defenders brings him down, including Rodney Moore. Also, Jamar Jones in on the play, but we see a flag, and it's going to go against the Newton Rams.
Another holding call here. That's the second one today. And I believe last week they had their first holding call of the year. Now all of a sudden they're starting to rack them up. I believe it was Richie Cleary that threw the block on the play that sprung him to the outside, what would have been a gain of about 5 yards, but this holding call is going to bring it back.
The official standing around the 41-yard line. They'll now be at the 40. And walking it back slowly toward the opposite goal line, it's spotted at the 30-yard line. So a 4-yard gain plus a 10-yard penalty. And that gives the Rams a total now of 34 penalty yards. Here in only a quarter and a half of play, that's not a very positive, very encouraging sign, and when your offense is having trouble scoring, it's the last thing that you want are the penalties.
That's true, and you got to think that unnecessary roughness penalty or the personal foul might have helped to aid them in the field goal because he didn't really appear to drive it too far over the bar.
Back to a kind of wing T formation here for the Rams. They've got three backs. Now Adrian Carr goes in motion. The give is to Gaither. Gaither has a little bit of room. He's at the 45. He's still up, dragging folks to the 46, 47-yard line. He went a good 5 or 6 yards after the first hit. Actually, more than that, after the initial hit, he was almost brought down, but stayed up, continued that straightforward running. He may have a first down.
He really drove with the ball after receiving the hit, and once again trying to go north and south, just keeping going up and down field instead of on this particular field with it slippery like that. That's the best. Seems to be the best way to do it. Just drive straight ahead and pick up those yards.
For Patrick Gaither, this has got to be a very special night because he's really been the fourth back in a three-back set most of the year, but he's been getting quite a few handoffs here in this one, filling in for Jason Robbins at fullback. Maddox will take the snap, and once again, Gaither will get the football. He's got the first down. He's at the 49-yard line. There's 3:23 left here in the second quarter. The Rams will slowly try to push it ever closer toward the goal line. Typical Ram football, gaining 3 or 4 yards per play, but now with only 3:21 left, they may have to put the ball in the air.
A little bit reminiscent of Ohio State football, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, although there's no dust on this wet field tonight.
More like 3 yards in a mud puddle, I think, would probably be the wise thing.
Certainly some splashes out there in certain areas of the field.
It's actually been quite dry compared to the Redan game and the Heritage game. Both of those were home games that very few fans attended, not because of any particular reason other than the horrible weather at Homer Sharp Stadium. The pitch to Adrian Carr on the first down play. He's got some running room. He is at the 45 and past the 45, not quite to first down territory. The initial hit made just beyond the 45-yard line. Adrian Carr has that quick burst of speed. You give him the pitch toward that side. He runs east-west, and when he decides to run north-south, he's just got explosive speed.
Made an excellent cut there. One of the Lithia Springs backs had closed up and kind of watched Adrian. Adrian just gave him a little bit of a move and was by him before he could move on it. Looked like he could have possibly been stopped for a loss, but instead he turned it into a real nice gain.
Coming down on 2 minutes remaining, just over 2 minutes. Cordell Benton goes in motion. The pitch goes his way. It was behind him. That's going to hurt him, and he trips at the 48 and falls down. That's a loss of 5 yards. The Rams could have had some positive yardage on that play. The first thing that happened wrong, the pitch went behind Benton. Then he fell down, and here we see Stephen Smith coming in. So Coach Cook has seen enough as far as Kareem Maddox at quarterback. After that missed pitch, Stephen Smith is going to come in now on a third down situation. Stephen Smith probably the better passer of the two.
Hopefully that'll give them, as time's running low, they'll need to move the ball a little quicker down the field there. And the previous play also, the pitch wasn't real good to Adrian Carr. He had to make a go up high to get it. It was actually above his head, but he pulled it down and made a good play on it. That last pitch there, Cordell did a good job just to catch the ball and keep from having it sail down towards their own goal line.
Coach Cook is going to talk to Kareem Maddox. They are talking just beyond the huddle and toward the Rams sideline. So Maddox will stay in there. Patrick Warren comes in at the wide receiver position. So it will be Maddox here on third down as Jack Cook is going to elect to stay with his senior leader. The ball's on the 48-yard line. It's third down and 7 yards to go. 1:56 left here in the second quarter. The Rams have put a field goal and a touchdown on the board. They missed the extra point. Lithia Springs has been limited to a 29-yard field goal from Ben Mullenix. Baines will snap it to Kareem Maddox, and Maddox will fake the handoff. He may be looking to pass, but he is brought down behind midfield. The man that hit him originally, Brent Deal, brings him down. That's a loss of at least 7 yards, and now the Rams in seriously bad position as time ticks away.
That play was really kind of slow developing. It's in that area of the field where people have been slipping, and he just didn't move too well with the ball, and they were able to come up with a sack on the play.
Now with 1 minute and 20 seconds left and extremely long yardage, Wes Billingsley is out there, possibly to punt. We'll see what happens. Rams may try a little bit of misdirection. but the snap goes back to Billingsley. They will not do that. His kick is straight up in the air. It bounces at the 41, takes a ram bounce to the 35, to the 34, and Danny Sisko will touch it at the 34-yard line. Not a very good kick. In fact, 21 yards on the punt from West Billingsley.
That's at a critical point where when you're going to punt there, you really want to be able to boom one down and put them in bad field position. They start out at the 34-yard line. A couple of good plays, they could get into scoring position right before the end of the half.
So Lithia Springs starts on their own 34, 50 seconds left. We'll see if Lithia Springs has any type of passing attack. We have not seen them go to the air yet in this ball game. The sophomore quarterback, Shane Head, will hand off. Actually, he'll pitch to the sideline to Rob Stroud, and Stroud brought down at the 37-yard line. He faked the handoff to Benjamin and pitched toward the sideline, but Rob Stroud had no yardage.
Terrence McCollum came up and did a good play in trying to keep him in bounds. They didn't let him get out of bounds to stop the clock, so Lithia Springs has had to call another timeout.
And we're going to keep it here as they call the timeout. 28 seconds remaining. Bill, did you expect at this point to see 9 points on the scoreboard here for the Newton Rams?
I thought after the fine offensive showing they had last week, I expected to be a little more firepower and a few more points. I'm not surprised that they've only given up 3 points because the defense has played so well this year. And that particular drive basically was one play where they let him break into the secondary, Leonard Benjamin, where he picked up the 55 yards on the one play.
Well, Lithia Springs, a 1-2 team coming in, has certainly proven themselves to the Rams here. These folks are for real.
You got to think the locker room's going to be a little noisy on the Newton side. I think Coach Cook is going to have a few things to say to the players. Maybe this is their wake-up call.
Well, as you know, Coach Cook must give a lot of very good inspirational halftime speeches because the Rams are one of the better third-quarter teams of anybody that I've ever seen, especially at the high school level. They seem to come out fired up in the third quarter each time around. Not sure exactly what happens in the locker room, but it appears to be positive each time. 28 seconds remaining. Second down from the 38-yard line. A possible passing play, but Marcelo Baines gets pursued and brings him down at the 24-yard line. And yes, that's Marcelo Baines on the tackle. And there's a flag on the play. It's a loss of 14, but we will see what the flag does. The flag is over by the 37-yard line. That's about where the line of scrimmage is, so probably doesn't have much to do with Baines and the hit on the quarterback. Referee's conferring we have 20 seconds remaining.
Great play by Marcelo Baines. Just penetrated straight in. Looked like a minute he had overrun the play, but he managed to get a hold of some jersey and pull him down by the jersey. That shows his strength besides his quickness. Now, I believe they're going to say it was an inadvertent flag.
They waved off.
So an inadvertent flag. 20 seconds remaining. The flag was waved off. 9-3, your score. It's now on the 26-yard line. It's a loss of 12 by the quarterback, Shane Head. So third down from the Lithia Springs 26. They've got a good almost 20 yards to go, about 18 yards here at least to pick up the first down. This could be the last play of the second quarter. The clock ticks down now under 10 seconds. 8-7 remaining. 6 seconds now. And Head will give to his back, who gains a couple of yards, and that'll end it out as Warren Johnson with a gain of about 2 yards to finish out the first half. 9-3 is your score. The Newton Rams are on top, but the offense looking a bit shaky. We'll be talking about that at your halftime show. We'll also have the Blue Rambler Band Show. We'll be talking about that great Newton Ram Band, which is about to take the field here in just a minute or two. We'll also give you some statistics of the first half and talk about the game as the Rams lead it 9-3 here at halftime. You're listening to Newton Ram football right here on Covington's radio station, WGFS AM 1430.
Loan and moved out of the shoe and into a home.
At Newton Federal, a real estate loan to fit your budget is as simple as a nursery rhyme. We lead you all the way through the process, making it easy to understand with helpful, knowledgeable service. You can get into the home you really want if you first get into Newton Federal. With affordable rates and a finance plan to fit most any budget, our real estate loans are the keys to the house of your dreams. Come see how we're leading the way.
All that you do at work or play, you know we'll be leading the way.
Newton Federal Savings and Loan, leading the way at 3175 Highway 278, Covington. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
cereal biscuits and gravy, tomato slices, Jell-O, fresh fruit and grits. Whew.
Bet you can't do it again.
Again?
Shoney's 40-item all-you-care-to-eat breakfast bar presents a dilemma for some of our more sporting customers.
Look, I don't know if I have one more in me.
You see, it seems they view our mouth-watering selection of 40 breakfast items as a challenge.
Oh, it is.
One look at all that freshly prepared food available at one low price, and they want it all at once.
Well, maybe one more time.
But there's only one way to get everything on our breakfast bar at once.
Here goes. Pancakes, scrambled eggs, bacon, breakfast potatoes, cheese sauce, sausage, cinnamon toast sticks.
And even that takes practice.
Fresh fruit and grits. Did I get it all?
Well, you forgot sticky buns again.
Oh, no. All right, here we go. One more time. Pancakes.
Shoney's all-you-care-to-eat breakfast bar. With so much to choose from, maybe we should call it all you dare to eat.
And sticky buns. Boy, that's a mouthful.
And remember, Wednesday night is family night at Shoney's. Kids 12 and under eat free off the kids' menu. Limit 2 per adult meal purchase only at Shoney's.
Charles Evans Nissan says you need one tough motor oil to meet the demands of today's new car engines. So ask for the motor oil that's tested tough. So tough it puts it in writing. The motor oil is Quaker State, and Charles Evans Nissan has it. Go to Charles Evans Nissan today and see a copy of Quaker State's tough new lubrication limited warranty. It will give your new car the extra protection you're looking for. Only one tough motor oil could make a guarantee this tough, but Quaker State is one tough motor oil.
You know, a lot of national chain stores that offer building materials look more like a high-tech supermarket than a lumber store. Well, at Campbell Lumber Company, they use a little less computer and a lot more one-on-one personal attention. After all, that's the way Campbell Lumber Company's been doing business for years, so why fix it if it ain't broke? Why, even if it was broke, Campbell Lumber Company has probably got what it takes to fix it. 4112 Emory Street Northwest in Covington.
And we're at halftime in Lithia Springs with the Newton Rams on top, 9-3. And we're going to go ahead and do the weekly feature that has come in every week in just a moment. But Kevin Holden, what's your impressions of the game so far?
Well, I'll tell you what, this first half between the Newton Rams and Lithia Springs has certainly been an interesting first half. A lot of things you wouldn't expect to see. The Rams have 9 points on the scoreboard. The offense hasn't scored a single touchdown. We'll get into the stats for you here in just a couple of minutes. The Rams are out rushing the Lions, but I'll tell you what, so far as offense is concerned, neither team has been really that dominant. Adrian Carr has had some good runs, but then again, so has Leonard Benjamin from the Lithia Springs Lions. So we promise to see, I'm sure, a very strong second half. And my guess is that, as you mentioned, the locker room for Newton County at halftime is probably a buzz right now. Anyway, before we get into the statistics and other things here for the first half, we have got a feature that we call the Big Dogs Picks. Now, we've got a slight problem this week with the Big Dogs Picks, and that is we have no Big Dog. By the way, he's listening in tonight, so Paul Daly, we thank you for listening in to Ram football. He's in a little weird position being on the other side there, listening to his radio and listening to Ram football this evening. But the Big Dogs Picks will be carried on. It's a fine tradition, and Bill Dolan has the responsibility of carrying on the tradition of the Big Dogs Picks. I understand that these picks came from Paul himself.
That's absolutely correct. I have him on a sheet marked the Big Dogs Picks, and he was blowing his own horn a little bit after last week as he was 4 for 6. That raises his record after a pretty miserable first week. He's up to 5 and 11 now, so or 5 out of 11, I should say. And he has picked 5 college games and 1 pro game this week. So the Big Dogs picks go as follows. The Big Dog is picking Georgia by 3 over Ole Miss. Should be a good game out at Between the Hedges tomorrow. So in Athens, and the Big Dog thinks Georgia's going to take him. Duke is at Georgia Tech, but the Big Dog likes Duke by 1 in a close battle. North Carolina traveling to Florida State. The Seminoles by 10 in not a very close game. South Carolina going to Kentucky. The Dog picking Kentucky by 1. And Tennessee at Mississippi State. Tennessee by 5. And his pro pick for the week, the Atlanta Falcons at the Washington Redskins, a place where the Falcons have never won, RFK Stadium in D.C. Big Dog says they're going to change that and win by 4.
4 points, he says the Falcons should beat the Redskins. Well, it promises to be a very exciting weekend of college and professional football. We've heard the Big Dogs picks. What do you think about these matchups?
Well, I told the big dog I wasn't going to touch on his pick, so all I'm going to do is present him for him, and we'll see how he does. We'll bring you the results, of course, next week, and also have some more big dog picks for you next week.
I made no such promise, so I can talk about them all I want. Actually, I agree with the majority of his picks for this week. Two other games I'd like to add in, just of my own doing. Washington will be going to Miami. That's going to be a very interesting matchup there in Miami, but Miami looks like they're back to the glory days again. Take the Hurricanes in that one. In Colorado and Michigan, again, you go with the home team there, this time being the Michigan Wolverines. But Colorado looking like a very strong team this year, a team that could go very far in collegiate football.
Of course, Michigan playing very well. They had that big upset victory over Notre Dame just a couple weeks ago with the last-second field goal. And playing at home in Ann Arbor, they're always tough to beat.
Well, those are the big dogs picks +2, and we're going to be back to give you your statistics of the first half. We'll talk more about the first half of action and what to expect in half number 2 from the Lions' Den at Lithia Springs High School here in Lithia Springs, Georgia. It is the Newton Rams 9, the Lithia Springs Lions 3, and we will be back to give you more right after this.
When you need insurance, here's the first thing you should do. Call your auto owner's agent. They are people just like you.
Are you age 55 or older? We've reduced the cost of auto owners' homeowners insurance 20% in Georgia. Here's why. Our statistics show mature homeowners have fewer and less costly losses. So if you're 55 or older, it's only fair to charge you less for your homeowner's insurance. For mature homeowners savings, see your no-problem auto owner's agent.
Call your auto owner.
Have you noticed lately how many people are wearing pagers? It's incredible how popular pagers have become. No doubt the tremendous popularity of pagers is because a pager is one of the most reliable and economical ways to stay in touch. East Metro Paging offers reliable Motorola pagers, and basic coverage gives you all of the Metro Atlanta area, including Athens. Our extended coverage pager works in other major Georgia cities. East Metro Paging, your hometown paging company. Go by and see them today on Highway 278, a quarter-mile east of the hospital, or call them at 786-6796. East Metro Paging, a division of East Metro Communications, Incorporated.
And we are at halftime at Lithia Springs in the Lions' Den. And here to bring you the halftime statistics and analysis, the voice of the Rams, Kevin Holden.
Thank you very much, Bill Dolan. It is 9-3. Your Newton Rams are on top. And here are the way your statistics break down. They're not that great for either team, really, on the offensive side of the football. As far as the Rams are concerned, their big rusher so far is Adrian Carr. He's carried the ball 5 times for a total of 47 yards. Patrick Gaither has 8 carries for 28 yards. We've got Kareem Maddox with 4 carries for a total of 19 yards. Cordell Benton has 14 yards on 5 carries. In all, the Rams 108 yards of rushing on 22 carries. That's okay, but you factor in the fact that the Rams are 0 for 2 in the passing game, and that's, of course, 0 yards in the passing game. That's 108 total yards of offense, and you're not going to put a lot on the scoreboard with that. In fact, the offense hasn't put a point up with the exception of the field goal.
That's correct, and then you factor in the large amount of flags that were thrown, and some critical plays after the Rams had made good gains, and then they were called back due to penalties.
The Lithia Springs statistics look like this. Benjamin is their big runner. Leonard Benjamin is a junior. 185 pounds is what he's listed as in the scorebook of the Lithia Springs Lions, and that man can fly. 7 carries, 89 yards, including a 55-yard run and a 15-yard run on 2 consecutive plays. Johnson with 4 carries for 11 yards. Stroud with a couple of carries for 2 yards. Shane Head has had kind of a rough night at quarterback. 4 carries for a total of negative 23 yards. All in all, the Lithia Springs Lions with 17 carries for 79 yards. Now, as far as the pass is concerned, Lithia Springs has not only not completed a pass, they have not even attempted a pass. So we know from this Lithia Springs offense and from what we've seen, even in the closing minutes of the second quarter when they had a chance to pass the football, they didn't do so. That tells you that the Lions, rather, are a bit weak in their passing game, Bill.
That's true, and a couple times where it looked like they might have been contemplating a pass, Marcelo Baines breaking through with a sack on the one play and just disrupting play the other time. So I'd be real surprised if they do much in the passing game. They're trying to establish that running game, and the Rams need to stop that. Of course, basically, once again, that drive was a one-play drive. When you gain 55 yards on one play, that's going to put you in pretty good position. That was a difference on that drive.
Well, Bill, as far as the second half is concerned, what do you see that may be happening different from the Rams?
I think they're going to have to come out and be a little more disciplined, avoid the, quote, dumb penalties, and try to move the ball a little better. Every time they seem to get something going with some type of sustained drive, they did suffer a penalty, and that really hurt them.
Well, the Rams will try here in the second half to recover. They are up 9-3 over the Lithia Springs Lions, and as far as Lithia Springs is concerned, what do you see maybe that they might be doing differently in the second half?
Well, I think they're going to try and contain the outside runs of the Rams. They're going to try to bunch it in a little more. When they kept the Rams inside, they were able to contain it pretty well, but once Cordell or Adrian got outside, or even Kareem made a couple of good runs getting outside, then they were able to pick up good yardage. So I think they're going to need to try to contain it on defense. On offense, I think they're going to try to sharpen up a little bit and drive straight ahead and try to run it down the Rams' throats.
One person that the Rams have not missed all that much has been Jason Robbins, the fullback, who is missing this game as a precautionary measure. He suffered a mild concussion last week. They're letting him sit out this one, as we mentioned, just as a precaution, and then he should be back. He's expected back Monday, and certainly by next Friday when they'll take on Winder Barrow to start the sub-region. But Patrick Gaither has come in, carried 8 times for 28 yards, and looked like a true varsity fullback, and I think you'll probably see Gaither carry the ball more during the sub-region because of his good performance in the first half tonight.
That's probably true. I think you'll see them rotating the 4 backs in and out, keeping them fresh. Of course, Jason Robbins is a stalwart on defense also, so you may see Gaither filling in for him a little bit more on offense as it goes, since he is showing his excellent abilities to run the ball as a fullback.
They call him the 4 horsemen of Sharp Stadium: Jason Robbins, Patrick Gaither, Adrian Carr, and Cordell Benton. And the Rams' running attack will try to put some more points on the scoreboard in the second half. We hope to bring you that right after this on WGFS AM 1430.
If you bury your nose in a cloud of sawdust and breathe deep, you're going to get choked up. Unless you're the new Husqvarna 36 chainsaw with air injection filtering, now available at Coast to Coast Home and Auto. Husqvarna's exclusive air injection saws run up to 20 times cleaner than any other saw on the market. With the Husky 36, you can work harder and longer without stopping for a filter change. What's more, an ergonomic design means that you can last nearly as long as your Husky. An angled front grip puts you in a comfortable working position that's less prone to fatigue, and vibration is kept to a minimum by separating the handles and engine unit. At only $199.95, you can't buy a better saw for home or farm than the Husqvarna 36 with air injection. So to keep your nose clean, stop by Coast to Coast Home and Auto on the Square in Covington to see the 36 and our entire line of quality Husqvarna products.
There once was a lady who lived in a shoe. She had so many children she knew not what to do. So to Newton Federal Savings and Loan she went and found out that she did not have to rent. She was told of an affordable real estate loan and moved out of the shoe and into a home.
At Newton Federal, a real estate loan to fit your budget is as simple as a nursery rhyme. We lead you all the way through the process, making it easy to understand with helpful, knowledgeable service. You can get into the home you really want if you first get into Newton Federal. With affordable rates and a finance plan to fit most any budget, our real estate loans are the keys to the house of your dreams. Come see how we're leading the way.
For all that you do at work or play, you know we'll be leading the way.
Newton Federal Savings and Loan, leading the way at 3175 Highway 278, Covington. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
And welcome back to Lithia Springs, the Lions Den. We're just about ready to start second half action here. Kevin Holden, we've got a special event coming up 2 weeks from tomorrow out at the Little Phillies restaurant. It's a charity event as we try to raise money. Teaming up with Tim Hires as we try to strike out diabetes. All proceeds going to the Juvenile Diabetes Fund.
It should be a very fun time, and also raising money, as you mentioned, for a very good cause, the Juvenile Diabetes Foundation. And already the benefit has gone very well in just what we've been able to raise in the weeks coming up to the event. So certainly it will be a very successful one.
Hopefully everyone will come out that day. That's October the 8th at the Little Phillies restaurant from 11 to 1. Meet Tim Hires if you don't know him. He's going to be there signing autographs. Plus the dynamic duo will be there live on the radio, doing it remote. And we hope to have a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of other things there. And Kevin, it looks like they're about ready to kick off, so I'm going to hand it over to you as see if you can get the Rams moving downfield.
Okay, Bill, we will try a little bit harder to put some points on the scoreboard here for the Newton Rams. So far as superstition is concerned, I've been on the play-by-play action here for 4 straight games, and they have 3 victories and a lead here, but I think they'd like to extend the lead, and I think that sentiment is echoed up here in the press box. Mullinex will be kicking off, and once again the ball falling off the tee, and Mullinex goes over to reset it, and we'll begin the second half with Mullinex kicking off. Cordell Benton and Adrian Carr will be the 2 men back to receive for the Newton Rams. And the second half begins with the kick, which is a very high kick. Benton has to backtrack on the ball. He takes it at the 2-yard line, a 58-yard kick. He goes out toward the 10-yard line, the 15, the 20. He's got some room to the 30, brought down at the 33-yard line. He delayed when catching the ball at the 2. That may have helped him as much as it hurt him, as he was finally brought down by Jamar Jones, the sophomore.
It looked like a minute there when he found an opening at about the 18-yard line. He squeezed through there. He almost had a chance to break it loose. I thought he was going to go a long distance. Like you said, he stopped. I almost think he thought he was in the end zone and was looking for the referee to call it a touchback on the play.
Well, the Rams will start first down after the 31-yard return. They'll be at their own 33-yard line. Back to the wishbone set. The quarterback is Stephen Smith, and the handoff up the middle to Gaither. Gaither gains about 5 yards on the play. He got some good blocking from the line.
Absolutely. The front of the line, the center and the left side really blew him out, and the push kind of gained those yardage. He followed right in behind him. Kind of interesting to see. Yes, we do have a new center on the play also. Normally when Smith comes in, they bring a new center in too.
Britt Mask is in as the center. Marcelo Baines is the center for Maddox, and Mask the center for Stephen Smith. To give on a delay to Cordell Benton. Benton is past the 40 to the 42, the 43-yard line. He may have a first down there for the Rams as they come out running here in the second half. And with 2 plays, they have a first down. They're back to the old ways, gaining good yards on the ground. It's a gain of 4, and it's third down and a yard to go, with the ball spotted on the 42-yard line of the Newton County Rams. 10:36 left. It's a 6-point lead for your Rams football team. They look to go to 4-0. They've only done that twice in school history. Patrick Gaither had some open room after a handoff over left tackle. He was brought down at the 47. Someone tripped him up, grabbed him by the ankles, and tripped him up. Otherwise, he might have been gone.
Yes, Rodney Moore barely got a handle on his ankles there and brought him down. Patrick squirted through the hole in great shape. Looked like he was going to be off to the races, but it was a good tackle by the senior from Lithia Springs.
First down now from the 47-yard line, and this is true Rams football, marching it a few yards at a time down the field with good, strong running plays out of that wishbone formation. Warren is the wide receiver. Smith will keep the play after the fake handoff. He is to midfield, and he'll be stopped there after a gain of 3.
Once again, nothing fancy, just executing the wishbone. Not a whole lot there, but he did manage to fall forward for a gain of almost 4, so if you keep doing that every play, you're going to keep getting first downs.
And it'll be second down and a long 6 to short 7 here for the Newton Rams as Stephen Smith has come in his first 4 plays. The Rams have got good positive yardage each time out. Coach Cook likes to see that. He's got 2 quarterbacks now with good varsity experience. Gaither once again will take the handoff. Gaither to the 40, to the 38-yard line. A good 10 to 12-yard gain, and once again, he is getting terrific blocking over there on the left side of the line.
Absolutely. The left side just really blew open a hole. I believe I might have could have gone through that hole and picked up some yardage, but Patrick Gaither, they're going to have a hard time keeping him out of the lineup. I believe Jason Robbins is going to come out and practice kind of hard to get back in there. Patrick doing a great job of running the ball, particularly on this series.
That is absolutely right. Gaither has done a tremendous job so far in this game. It's been a big bright spot for him. He'll take it on this one. He stays up after an initial hit. He's at the 33, finally spun over and brought down. He was hit originally about 2 yards in front of the line of scrimmage, but continued to push forward and gained another 2 or 3 yards. You like to see the tenacity out of your backs.
That's correct, particularly at fullback, and he's reacting like a true fullback. He kept the legs driving, refused to go down, kept pushing forward, and then as he went down, he fell forward, not allowing himself to be pushed back, and just a great gain on first down.
Danny Sisko is the wideout, splitting toward the right side. Randy Johnson will cover him, the 5'9 version of Randy Johnson, that is. This time on the delay, Benton gets it, spins around one time and drops at the 30. A gain of 3 yards. Benton may have been tripped up there.
I believe he tended to lose his footing a little bit there, too. That center of the field, between the 30 and the 50 on that end, is where the players have been having a lot of trouble with the footing.
3rd down, 2 yards to go. The ball is on the Lithia Springs 30-yard line. The Rams with that slow push downfield. Gaither gained 5 yards to start the drive. Benton with 4 yards. Gaither 5 yards. Smith 3 yards. Gaither had a 12-yard gain, then a 5-yard gain. And Cordell Benton with a 3-yard gain. This time, Gaither will take it and probably has about a 1-yard gain. So the Rams will come up a few yards short here, and we'll see what they do on 4th down. Gaither is going to be given an average spot. It'll be at the 30-yard line. No gain.
They didn't get a very good spot on that. I thought he fell a little more forward. Good penetration by the Lithia Springs whole front 4 that time, or front 5 rather, I should say, that time, as they held the line and were able to stop him for no gain.
Greg Benson comes out toward the sideline. He's played some tight end. Patrick Warren comes in. He'll be the new wide receiver in this set. It's a 4th down and 2, and the Rams are going for it. A big crucial play here. Gaither. Smith will take it himself, however, and streaks upfield to the 15-yard line. Gaither was going straight up the middle on the fake handoff. That brought all the Lithia Springs folks toward the middle. And Stephen Smith, they call him Lightning, if I'm not mistaken, and he gains a good 17 yards there.
Well, that's pretty good when your fake would have got you the first down besides what happened, because Patrick Gaither's pushed and drawing about 4 people. That's who I was watching. I actually was fooled by the fake. I thought he had the ball, and that would have been enough for the first down. But as you say, Stephen Smith held on to the ball with a great gain getting outside on the play.
When you fool the folks in the press box as well as the folks down there, you know you've got a strong fake. Stephen Smith will take it and give it out to Patrick Gaither. Gaither had about a 1-yard gain, but stuffed there, not much forward progress. It'll be 2nd down and about 9.5 yards to go. We've got 7 minutes left. It's 9-3. The Rams on top, another low-scoring affair. The Rams have played several of those, a 3-0 game in their first game and a 14-0 game last week.
And this is really a typical Newton County drive as they're eating the clock and moving down just little bits of change at a time, but keeping the ball, keeping the momentum going.
The sustained drive, something the Rams have been very good at all year long. Somebody was stuffed. Cordell Benton was hit hard by Jeremy Reed. Reed went through the blocking in no time at all and hit Cordell in a major way. After about a 4-yard loss, he took it at the 15-yard line and immediately was sacked and just brought down hard by Reed, the senior.
That's a couple of excellent plays he's made from the nose guard position, too. He reacts and responds quite a bit like Marcelo Baines of Newton County does, being that quick coming through the line and making good defensive plays. That's several for him tonight.
6 minutes and 6 seconds left. 2 wideouts here for the Rams. 3rd down, long yardage situation. Smith may look to pass. It's a pitch toward Adrian Carr's side of the field. Carr is at the 10 to the 9-yard line. He was tripped up at the 12. That's what ended up bringing him down at the 9. So with a 4th down situation, the Rams may go for another field goal attempt, but it's on the left hash mark, I think, and if so, West Billingsley may not be in there.
Well, he's in there marching it off now, and he's about to put his tee down on the ground. Looks like it's going to be about a 27-yard field goal. He has had trouble from that left hash mark, although he doesn't appear to be quite as wide out as the ones he missed earlier. Hopefully he can hook this one in a little bit. He's been tending to miss them to the right when he's missed from this hash mark.
This was a 27-yard attempt, and it won't be made just yet. Why? Because one of those yellow hankies has just hit the turf. And we'll see what it's all about, if it's on the Rams or the Lions. If it's on the Lions, we might see the Rams with a change of plans here. If it's on the Rams, then it would move it back to at least a 32-yard field goal attempt for Billingsley. The flag is on the field. The referees go toward the chains and talk to the folks out there. Now, wholesale substitutions. Billingsley's coming back toward the sideline. So that penalty may have gone against the Lithia Springs Lions. We are now seeing the call, and it is against Lithia Springs, an offsides call, if I'm not mistaken.
Evidently, they jumped into the neutral zone, thereby causing the flag to be thrown. And as you said, the Rams are going to forego the field goal try and go on 4th down because it'll be short yards to go. And it has started raining, so Newton will get a chance to show their wet weather ability. They seem to play in the rain every week, and it's raining rather hard right now.
If they haven't learned it by now, they had better, because they've played in a tremendous amount of rain. Fourth down, very, very short yardage now for the Rams. The pitch toward this side to Cordell Benson, and Benson is going to be brought down at the 12-yard line. He was hit hard. Rob Stroud, the initial hit, brings him down, and the Rams can't put it across. The pitch to Benson, kind of far out. He had a long way to go to try to pick up any kind of positive yardage. He was back at about the 12 when he was hit.
Normally on a real short yardage play like that, you want to go ahead and just try to get the push off the line and not try to get too tricky. I think they might have gotten a little too cutesy there trying to go outside, particularly with the rain and the wet field, and it backfired on fourth down.
Lithia Springs now first down from their own 10, 4:53 left in the quarter. A touchdown and extra point could put them on top. The give to Benjamin, and Benjamin has nada. He's brought down at the line. Second down and 10-yard situation as the Ram defense reacts immediately, and the defense, once again, having a strong performance. They've allowed only 18 points all year.
Good push by the middle of the line. Also, Michael Brooks came up quickly and was in on the tackle there.
Michael Brooks spelling Jason Robbins this week at the linebacker position. Robbins will be back there hopefully for next week's game against Winder Barrow. Wing T formation from the Lions. This time the give, Benjamin gains 4 yards. At the 15-yard line, he is tackled. It'll bring up a third down situation. Telly Smith made the hit. He's a man who's had a pretty big ball game.
Yes, he has. A very good play there. He fought off his block and came up with a good one-on-one tackle pretty much in the open field, stopping the play for basically short yardage.
So it's a third down. 5 yards to go. Will Lithia Springs take to the air? They haven't yet tonight, not once. And we'll see if that string breaks here. Again, the wing T formation, the young sophomore quarterback. He gives, and he is stuffed. That's Benjamin that was stuffed immediately. Greg Benson came across the line and brought him down for a major loss of yardage.
It almost looked like he was in the huddle on that play because he was in the backfield about the same time the quarterback stepped back. Great play by Greg Benson, really knifing through there. Made some kind of move on the offensive guard and got right by him into the backfield.
Fourth down now, Lithia Springs from the 12. They'll be looking to punt with Mullinex. Mullinex so far with 2 punts has a 30-yard punt and one that was blocked. The Rams have 2 men back though, so not as much of a chance of this one being blocked. Smith was coming hard, but the kick gets up, and it is taken at midfield. Benton lets it roll. It takes a Lithia Springs roll. Now he takes it at the 41-yard line, tries to cut upfield. He is losing major yardage, and he's brought down at the 30. The man ran almost in the opposite direction. He was trying to look for room on the left sideline. Now there's a flag at the 37. Maybe that'll benefit the Rams. Benton was at midfield, let it bounce by him, took it at the 41, then ran toward the left sideline, but backwards and was brought down at the 30.
I believe you're going to see a clip called on the play there. The Newton Ram player tried to get back to make a block on the play, and it appeared to almost have the right angle, but his head got a little behind it, so normally they're going to call a clip on that. Or as they say, a legal block above the waist from behind and all that, as John Madden would say.
Exactly. That's exactly right. The ball is sitting on the 30-yard line, but not for long. It's going to be moved back. We've got 2 minutes and 40 seconds left. You're listening to Newton Ram football right here on WGFS AM 1430. The Rams with only a 6-point lead, and if they're going to score here, they're going to have to eat up a lot of clock and probably a lot of territory. Well, definitely a lot of territory, as they'll be moved back now 15 yards after that penalty. So they go from midfield where the ball bounced originally, and Benson could have fielded the ball at the 50. He'll now be at the 15-yard line.
What started out as a really pretty poor punt ended up to be a great play for Lithia Springs because the Rams should have had excellent field position. Instead, they're deep in a hole.
The Rams from the 15-yard line give to Gaither, had a little bit of open field. May have a first down. He was out toward the 25-yard line, was spun around, hit kind of hard, probably a little shaken up after that one. But the Rams are just a little bit short of a first down, and Patrick Gaither is running terrifically over on that left side. 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in the quarter.
Looked like he might break it for a little more, but a pretty good open field tackle by Tajee Rich as he pulled him down over on the far side.
Second down and short yardage. And they have the first down with Gaither, who is almost to the 30 before he was pushed back. They'll give him the forward progress, which will give the Rams their 4th first down of the quarter. And once again, they'll slowly try to move that ball downfield. after the gain from Patrick Gaither. This is Jack Cook football at its best. We've mentioned it several times. He likes to just push it up the field a few yards at a time, gain some first downs. That was a 6-yard gain there from Gaither.
Good driving leg action, both hands on the ball with the wet weather. Good job of protecting the ball. And that's what you need to do when the weather gets a little bad, to keep driving the ball upfield.
Stephen Smith is the quarterback. This time the give is to Adrian Carr. Carr tries to cut upfield in this mess and gets to the 36-yard line before he's brought down. In dry weather, Adrian Carr may have had major yardage, but folks, that wet turf out there is slowing him down.
It really is, but he still did a great job to pick up 6 yards on a play where it looked like he was going to be trapped in the backfield or for no gain, but instead turned it into positive yardage.
A minute 25 left in the third quarter. Britt Mask is your center, Stephen Smith your quarterback. Once again, the wishbone formation with one wide out, and now a flag comes up as the Rams had a little bit of illegal movement, I believe, in their backfield.
It looked like the tight end over on the left side kind of fell forward, and in fact, he was laying on the ground.
So the penalty goes against the Rams, moving them back a total of 5 yards. That's 20 penalty yards here in the quarter. And as far as the game is concerned, they have a total of 54 penalty yards. They have had some trouble with the penalties tonight.
And you know the coach isn't going to be happy about that.
Smith is going to take it himself, has a little room to the left sideline, is going to run out of bounds and stop the clock. He gained to the 38-yard line before he was run out of bounds. 55 seconds remaining, and time will be stopped here. It is 9-3. The Rams on top, and again, the offense hasn't scored a touchdown yet. They've been close a few times, but they haven't been able to put it across.
They seem to be sputtering as they get down near the goal line. The one time they did get the field goal, the second time they opted to go on fourth down. Perhaps they should have gone for the field goal with the way the weather's turning now.
A lightning strike here at the Lions' Den at Lithia Springs High School. A run straight up the middle from the Newton Rams gains maybe a yard, probably not much more. As the give was to Patrick Gaither, it brings up a fourth down. So the lightning and thunder begins to come down here in addition to all the rain. The umbrellas are out in full force on both sides. Some of the folks may be headed home early despite the fact that we have a good strong matchup. They may want to try to get out of this weather. A gain of a yard from Gaither, fourth down from the 38. The Rams will be looking to punt here with Wes Billingsley. The snap is a low one. It bounces once, but Billingsley still gets the punt off, probably his best of the night. At the 30-yard line, a fair catch was called for. The Lithia Springs Lion player that called for the fair catch, Johnson, fumbled the ball, but with the fair catch, that's quite all right at 9 seconds remaining with the ball on the 30.
I believe he did manage to come up with the ball after fumbling it on the play. And I believe it's ran as hard now as it did in the first game of the year at home, Kel.
That was a deluge, that first game at home against Redan High School. You know, because you were out in the rain. I was in the press box undercover and still got soaked. Imagine that.
I don't believe I've ever been so wet in my life as I was at that game, being out walking around the stadium at Homer Sharp there.
Hopefully for the next Ram home game, which is October 14th against Rockdale, that's the homecoming game, hopefully we won't have this same problem with the rain showers, because every time the Rams have played, we have seen rain of some kind. 9 seconds left in the third quarter. Lithia Springs can probably pull one play off. I don't think they'd be able to pull two off before the quarter ends. But they'll have it at their own 30, and once again, they'll have a chance to drive downfield. A touchdown and any kind of extra point gives them the lead.
They're going to stop the game.
And both teams have been dismissed to the sideline because of this severe weather. The lightning and thunder out here at Lithia Springs High School. Both of these teams are going to be sent to their respective sidelines, and so while they do that, we'll take this break. We'll come back and update the situation from Lithia Springs High School, where the Rams lead at 9-3. Back with more after this on WGFS AM 1430. Myself and the big dog, Paul Daly, and we brought some heavy rains with us, and guess what? It's week 4, and for the third time in 4 weeks, heavy rains are here, but this is the first time all year that we have had play suspended because of the heavy rains. In fact, this is the first time in quite a while that we've seen anything like this for the Newton Rams football team.
Well, hopefully the lightning and thunder will stop, because normally football plays in the rain, although the field is really going to be rough after this because it was so slippery already. And if they are able to continue the game tonight, it's going to be a real quagmire out there.
Do you see this particular delay as benefiting either the Rams or the Lithia Springs Lions?
I don't really see it benefiting anyone. When you're out there and you're that wet and then you have to go into the locker room and come back out, it's kind of difficult. You tend to tighten up. After having come back out from halftime, the Rams had moved the ball fairly well. I think it's probably going to hurt the Rams maybe a little more. Their outside game is going to be gone. If Lithia Springs crunches up the middle, they might be able to shut the inside game off because the outside game just isn't going anywhere with the slippery conditions right now.
So we'll call it like a hockey match. You've got a second intermission here. 9 seconds left in the third quarter. It's 9-3, and it's our second intermission. So what should we look at face-off here as we begin the third period?
Well, normally at hockey games it isn't raining. But like I say, right now all we can really kind of do is wait and see if the lightning and the thunder does go away, because I imagine if there are no more lightning strikes, they'll go ahead and bring the players back out, even though it is raining quite so hard.
Well, to begin this third quarter, the Rams had a long, sustained drive. They began at their own 33-yard line and began to push the ball up the field like the Rams that we've seen of the last 3 weeks. Just steady, consistent, positive yardage. They made it all the way from the 33 down to the Lithia Springs 5-yard line. It took 13 plays to do it, but then on the 13th play, it was 4th down and short yardage from the 5-yard line. Cordell Benton took a pitch on the right side and got stuffed for -5 yards, so it was back to the 10-yard line. Lithia Springs 10-yard line, they had a three-and-out drive, and then the Rams with a 5-play drive, but they were stopped at the 38 before the lightning strike. We're going to be talking to one of the officials here for tonight's game between the Lions and the Rams. And I know you only as Wes. Wes, what's your last name?
Barker.
Okay. Wes Barker, the official up here at the scoreboard. You've been next to us all night. Tell us exactly what's going on.
Okay, we've got a lightning in the vicinity which halted the ball game. Now if we can restart this ball game within 1 hour, then we will continue the ball game. But after 1 hour, the ball game would be called, and then it would be at the two schools right now. With the team leading, it would go to Newton County.
And right now we have just a little after 9:15 right here at Lithia Springs High School, and those of you back in Covington the same time, 9:15. So expect a decision in the next 50 to 55 minutes.
Right.
Okay.
And if it clears out, we'll start the game immediately.
And it will start with a 4th down play with the punt.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Well, it's coach's choice.
Okay.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a punt.
Okay. Well, Wes Barker, thank you very much for your input on that. We'll be back to talk a little more about this Rams game right after this on WGFS AM 1430.
When you need insurance, here's the first thing you should do. Call your auto owner's agent. They are people just like you.
If you're age 55 or older, you've earned an auto insurance discount from Auto Owners Insurance. Our statistics show drivers 55 and older have fewer and less costly accidents, so it's only fair to charge you less for your personal auto insurance. To find out how much you can save, contact the No Problem people, your Auto Owners Insurance agent today.
Call your auto owner's agent. They are people just like you.
See the Steele Jones Insurance Agency, located on Floyd Street, Southeast, in Covington. Or call 786-9213.
Auto owners, the No Problem people.
Carroll's Floor Covering of Covington has everything you need for covering any floor in your home: carpet, vinyl, tile, or hardwood. With 35 years experience, interior designer available. Custom work is our specialty. We're not the largest, just the nicest. Carroll's Floor Covering is inviting you to come by and take a look at the many samples we have in stock to choose from. Carroll's Floor Covering, located at 1393 Access Road in Covington. 786-7700, 786-7700. Charles Evans Nissan says you need one tough motor oil to meet the demands of today's new car engines. So ask for the motor oil that's tested tough. So tough it puts it in writing. The motor oil is Quaker State, and Charles Evans Nissan has it. Go to Charles Evans Nissan today and see a copy of Quaker State's tough new lubrication limited warranty. It will give your new car the extra protection you're looking for. Only one tough motor oil could make a guarantee this tough, but Quaker State is one tough motor oil. If it involves sports and you need it, Take your need to Ludi Sports Shop and Trophies, 787-3014. They've got a fine selection of baseball and football cards. For your favorite teams, they have T-shirts, caps, and sportswear. And they also make trophies. It's all under one roof at Ludi Sports Shop in the Newton Plaza Shopping Center in Covington. 787-3014. Ludi Sports Shop, 787-3014.
Welcome back to the rain at the Lion's Den in Lithia Springs. It appears to be lightening up, and that's not a pun intended there, Kevin Holden, lightening up a little bit on the rain. And I haven't seen any lightning strikes in a while. As we heard from Mr. Wes Barker, the official, there is some lightning in the area. And once that goes away, if they feel that it is safe, they will start the game up immediately.
That's exactly right. Wes has been very helpful to us throughout this ball game, and he has told us the situation that we have right now. And as you mentioned, there has been no more lightning, no more thunder, and then the rain is becoming, well, it's almost stopped, according to an expert up here in the press box. It'll be 4th down for the Rams at the 38-yard line, and I believe Coach Cook will probably still punt, given the situation. And now with the wet conditions, with the field as wet as it is, I guess you call it the Lions' Pit instead of the Lions' Den. What do you look for here in the fourth quarter? With the wetter conditions, as a coach, how do you alter your strategy?
Well, I think he really has to stress to the players, protect the ball, because at this point in time, the last thing you want to do is turn it over in a ball game this tight, particularly on your own side of the field. The bad part about losing that punt, that's probably the best punt I've ever seen Wes Billingsley get off. He really nailed that and almost caused a fumble on the fair catch. The Rams almost could have made good on that, but I guess he's going to have to try to do it again. But he really got a good foot into that one, considering all the conditions and everything. Like I say, that's the best I've ever seen him get off a punt in the few games I've been able to catch.
Is that not unfortunate, though, that that will not be counted as the lightning struck and they decided to delay play? We are going to go back to the studio just briefly here in just a minute. Then we will come back and bring you more of Newton Ram football. Why? Because we've just heard the announcement that the two teams are re-entering the field. And here come the Rams out of the locker room. And they'll be headed back onto the field. They'll probably have a few warm-up exercises. So what we'll do here, go back to the studio for a couple of minutes, come back, and get ready for your fourth quarter of action. Here at Lithia Springs High School, on the home sideline, very, very few people. A lot of the folks have gone home because of the severe weather. Same way over on the Newton sideline, where just a smattering of fans, as the majority of them have gone home as well. But you have an advantage. You, the listener, have an advantage, and that is you are inside, we hope, and dry, we hope, and listening to the game, we know. Right here on WGFS AM 1430. We'll be back.
Cereal biscuits and gravy, tomato slices, Jell-O, fresh fruit and grits.
Bet you can't do it again.
Again?
Shoney's 40-item all-you-care-to-eat breakfast bar presents a dilemma for some of our more sporting customers.
Look, I don't know if I have one more in me.
You see, it seems they view our mouth-watering selection of 40 breakfast items as a challenge.
Oh, it is.
One look at all that freshly prepared food available at one low price, and they want it all at once.
Well, maybe one more time.
But there's only one way to get everything on our breakfast bar at once.
Here goes. Pancakes, scrambled eggs, bacon, breakfast potatoes, cheese sauce, sausage, cinnamon toast sticks.
And even that takes practice.
Fresh fruit and grits. Did I get it all?
Well, you forgot sticky buns again.
Oh, no. All right, here we go. One more time. Pancakes.
Shoney's all-you-care-to-eat breakfast bar. With so much to choose.
18-yard line. Benjamin ended the third quarter with a run of exactly 50 yards. 18 yards away from tying it up. Then we'll see what happens with the extra point. Shane Head will give once again to Benjamin. This time, Benjamin is stuffed for nada at the line and brought back. The forward progress will probably take him to the line of scrimmage, but everybody on the left side of the defensive front was right on top of Benjamin as soon as he got the football.
They went to the well one too many times, you might say. The left side of the line was ready for him, stopped it, and didn't even let him push forward. Marcelo Baines came in from behind and kind of pulled backwards on it to make sure that the play didn't gain a thing.
The last time that the Rams had a chance to play in the rain on the road, they were playing Berkmar High School up at the Berkmar Stadium. Newton was considered the superior team in that game by many folks, but they lost the game to Berkmar. Here they are in another situation on the road and in the rainy conditions. And once again, they have a chance, if Lithia Springs puts 7 points across, to be behind in this one in the fourth quarter and needing a drive. One of the Lithia Springs players is down on the field, and so they're tending to him right now. Chris Hunt, a senior, is being tended to by a couple of the trainers for Lithia Springs High School. They're going to pull him up, and he appears that he may be going off the field under his own power. Hopefully he's okay. That's one bad side effect of the rainy conditions. You may see an increase in injuries here.
appears to be something wrong with his right leg. I can't tell if he twisted a knee maybe, or it could be a cramp the way they're helping him off. Normally if it's a more serious injury like a knee or an ankle or something, they do a different way of getting him off the field. It might be a cramp. A lot of times this rain will bring out some leg cramps in the players.
Second down and 10 yards to go. One play has gotten off so far in this fourth quarter. We've seen a little bit of everything tonight. I think that's a pretty safe assumption. We've had a rain delay, which is something that's extremely rare for a football game, but the lightning and thunder that was in the area just briefly about 15 to 30 minutes ago delayed action for just a little while. It'll be second down and 10 for the Lithia Springs Lions. Rams in that four-man front, those four big linebackers. Lots of pressure on them tonight. They give on the reverse. Speed to the 15, to the 10, 5, and touchdown Lions. Troy Kreider scores on the reverse. Troy Kreider, a sophomore, makes it 9-all. 11-10 remaining. In your fourth quarter of action, we've got ourselves a tie ball game.
Very well executed play by the Lions on that play. He came from the far side of the field all the way across. Bit of a flake flicker on the almost a double reverse, and got into open field and took it in untouched down the right sideline. And as you say, the score is tied now.
The point after attempt will be Ben Mullinax, and it'll be for 1 point. They're not going to try to go for two. At least we don't think so. They may again try some misdirection. And now Lithia Springs just took a timeout. Number 24, Leonard Benjamin, ran up to one of the referees at the last second calling a timeout for Lithia Springs. 9-9 your score. They probably didn't have enough people on the field. They may have had 10 people out there, and they elected to take a timeout. A lack of execution that could really hurt them later in this game. They may need those timeouts, especially in a close ball game like this.
That's correct. It can come down to seconds being very critical towards the end, especially if you're trying to get a field goal off, and to waste one by not having a player on the field, that's going to upset the coaching staff. That's one of those penalties that basically falls into the unexcusable category, and it could really come back to haunt them later in the game.
This round they avoid the penalty, and the timeout has an extra effect. A lot of times the opposing team will call a timeout to ice a kicker. Well, Lithia Springs calls a timeout, and they may be icing their own kicker by only having 10 folks on the. So here they are, the Lithia Springs Lions trying to take a 10-9 lead with Ben Mullinax attempting the extra point. The Lions, the 10-9 lead. 9-9 your score right now, and now a timeout is called by the referees, I believe. There's a flag in play. We'll check to see what this flag is. Now Newton may have 12 men on the field, and that is what the call is against the Newton Rams, so these folks having a little trouble with the numbers game, Bill.
First, the Lithia Lions with only 10 men on the field, and then the Rams had 12 men on the field. That's going to move the ball half the distance to the goal line. I wonder if they're still going to go for one, or if they might decide to go for two now.
Mullinax comes up to the line of scrimmage. He is still out there on the field. The penalty against the Rams moves it a very, very short distance. The extra point attempt will be from the 9, so it's just like a 19-yard field goal attempt, except from straight on. Here comes the extra point attempt. Snap is good, hold is good, the kick is up, and it is good. And the Lithia Springs Lions have taken a lead over your Newton Rams, 10-9. Brace yourselves, we have got a big-time fourth quarter of football action ready for you. Coming back right after this, live game transmission courtesy of the folks at East Metro Communications. Go by and see Joe or Bert at your local authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular.
It's September's Best Buys of the Month going on now at Mayfield Ace Hardware. GE soft white light bulbs, you pay $1.34 minus a $1 rebate for a final cost of only 34 cents. Lufkin 1-inch by 25-foot high-vis power tape, $5.88 each. Ace Hardware 100% silicone sealant, $2.49 each. And Ace 5-star semi-gloss latex enamel, only $8.88 a gallon. That's September's Best Buys of the Month going on now at Mayfield Ace Hardware on the Square and in Newton Plaza.
And welcome back to Lithia Springs for Newton Ram football. The news is not good at this point in time, and here with the play-by-play, and the reason it's not so good, Kevin Holden.
10-9 the score. Lithia Springs on top. The only positive part of that is if the Rams can score anything, a safety, a field goal, anything, they would take a lead if they can hold Lithia Springs. They've got a strong defense and the potential to do that, so they're hoping for the best. 10-9 the score. That missed extra point from West Billingsley looking kind of big. The ball spotted on the 40-yard line. Mullinex will put the ball on the tee. Back to receive Adrian Carr and Cordell Benton. You hope that field dries up as much as possible. You'd like to see Benton and Carr use their speed on the outside. We'll see what happens. Here comes the kick from Mullinex. It is booted up and high and far toward the end zone. Adrian Carr takes it at the 4-yard line, a 56-yard kick. Adrian has some room. He is at the 30. He's at the 40. Shakes a couple of folks. 45, 50, 45. Now trips and falls at the 39-yard line. Adrian Carr puts the Rams in terrific field position with a great run back after the 56-yard kick.
Really a great kickoff. In fact, Adrian had to go back, field it over his shoulder. Looked like he might have been making a mistake at first trying to field it. He took a big chance and then just turned on the speed running up the right sideline. Looked like he had a chance to break it loose and then caught a bad piece of turf and kind of tripped over his own feet. I think he went down on his own, under his own power. Did not appear to be tackled by anyone on the play.
First down for the Rams at the Lithia Springs 41-yard line, a 56-yard kick, a 55-yard return. That's nice. Here come the Rams, ready to march down the field on first down. Stephen Smith will keep it himself. He's got some room to the 40. The ball is loose. Lithia Springs has recovered the football. Randy Johnson has recovered the fumble at the 39-yard line. Stephen Smith was hit from behind. He fumbled the football. Lithia Springs has it at the 39. Ouch.
That really hurts, particularly after the great kickoff return. And now to turn the ball over, that's what we talked about earlier, trying to protect that ball. And that was a play that really wasn't going too far. The defender came from behind, stripped it from him, and it fell right into the arms of another defender laying on the ground who corralled it, and now Lithia Springs has the ball. Newton's got to tighten up and hold him right here.
They've got to go 3 and out. There's 10 minutes and 23 seconds. It's an eternity, but Lithia Springs has been able to march the ball up the field fairly well at various times here tonight. Shane Head, the quarterback, is going to take the snap, and he's going to give to Benjamin. Benjamin gains a good 5 yards or more before he's finally brought down by James Jackson, Jamaica Usher, and others at the 45.
A couple of missed tackles right at the line of scrimmage. They had a chance to stop him for about a 1-yard gain, and the front four failed to stop him and let him get into the secondary where the linebackers and the safety had to tackle him on the play.
Rams would hate to have their hearts broken after going in and beating the number 10 team in the state in Redan, going out and beating a strong offensive team in Heritage. They may go down for their first loss of the year here to Lithia Springs at the Lions Den here at Lithia Springs High School. 2 backs for the Lions on this particular play, 2 backs and a couple of wideouts. The give toward the 50-yard line and past midfield. Warren Johnson took the football. It's a first down for the Lions. Johnson gaining big yardage past midfield to the 46.
Great block on that play by number 54, Brent Deal of the Lithia Spring Lions. He got outside and sealed the corner off to allow his running back to cut inside of him and pick up big yardage on the play.
Lithia Springs only has 2 first downs, make that 3 first downs in the second half. The unfortunate part is they have 7 points on the scoreboard where the Rams have absolutely none here in the second half. First down and 10. The Newton 47-yard line is where the ball is spotted. 1 man in motion, that's Stroud. The give to Benjamin. Benjamin will be stuffed here. The big defensive line of Newton County brought him back. Forward progress may give him a yard or may give him absolutely nothing.
Rico Williams, Marcelo Baines, and a host of others in on that tackle as they read the play well and stuffed it. Another Lithia Springs player hurt on the play.
So with one of the Lithia Springs Lions down on the field, immediately a couple of the managers and a few assistant coaches will go out and tend to him. He is sitting right at midfield. 8 minutes, 41 seconds left. 10-9, the score. Lithia Springs with the 10 points on the scoreboard, the field goal plus the touchdown. The Rams have the same. The only difference, West Billingsley missing the extra point. We could have a 10-10 ball game at this point had he made the extra point. Coming off the field is Leonard Benjamin. Benjamin was down at the 50-yard line. We do hope that Benjamin is okay, but if you're a Ram defender right now, you might be happy to see that man on the sideline.
Appeared to be some type of a cramp or possibly had the wind knocked out of him as they were moving his legs. He appears to be all right as he's strolling on the sideline, though. I'm sure we'll see him back in the game in a few plays.
He has been the big man for Lithia Springs. Without him, they would not have been able to score either their touchdown or their field goal. He set up the field goal with a big run, and a 50-yard run in the third quarter set up that touchdown for the Lions. The pitch toward the left side, it is to Johnson. Johnson is at the 41-yard line and finally brought down there. Well short of a first down. It'll bring up third down situation, probably about 5 yards to go with it at the Newton 40-yard line. Lithia Springs driving downfield, eating a lot of time off the clock. We're under 8 minutes now.
They're moving the ball a little better than what they were earlier, although that pitch almost had disaster written on it. It was a good field of it by the running back, and he turned it upfield and picked up about 5 good yards.
Sean White, a junior wide receiver, is into the action here for Lithia Springs on the third down and fairly long yardage situation. The clock continues to tick away, 7:35 left in your ball game. Little different look to the wing T set with one back and one man in motion. The give, and I don't think he's got the first down, as the back took it up just a couple of yards, but the Ram defense was all over it, stopping the back on that play. It'll bring up a fourth down situation now, and of course Lithia Springs will go for it. A 3-yard gain on the play.
Looks like they're about 2 yards short on the play. Right now Newton's really got to buckle down and try to stuff this play, and if they do, they'll take over in excellent field position.
So here's a big one for the Rams. Fourth down on a couple of yards to go. Time for the defense to show its strength. Sean Head barking some signals, probably trying to draw those Rams offside. Now he calls a timeout. That's exactly what he was doing, audible from the line, trying to draw the Rams defensive line offsides and give them a first down. But the Rams, disciplined defensive players, did not jump offsides, and Lithia Springs waste another timeout.
I'm kind of surprised they went ahead and took the timeout there. At this point on the field, a 5-yard penalty for a delay of game, since they're probably going to punt anyhow, really wouldn't have hurt them that much, but they wasted the timeout, and with only one more in the half to go, that could really come back to haunt them later.
Fourth down at the 38. We see Mullinex on the field. That's the punter for Lithia Springs. He is looking toward the sideline right now. We might see a little misdirection type play from Lithia Springs. 6:42 the time remaining on the clock. Lithia Springs leading this one over your Newton Rams 10-9. The Rams winning streak in jeopardy. They look to go to 4-0. But come in here now trailing by 1, and with 6 minutes and some change to try to put something across, they've got to get possession of the football. Mullinex is back, appearing like he's going to punt. The Rams have only one man back. We know what happened the last time that they only had one man back. They were able to block the punt from Mullinex.
And look who you've got on the outside left end coming in.
Here are the folks coming in. The punt gets off and in good shape. Benton takes it, fumbles the football at the 15-yard line. Lithia Springs may have this ball. No, it's Newton Ram football. That is a huge break for the Newton Rams, who are really, really struggling here to begin the fourth quarter. Benton took that pitch, fumbled it, and by the time he got back to the ball, the Lithia Springs defenders were almost on top of it. There may have been another fumble, which caused the Rams to get the football back.
It looked like two Lithia Springs players converged on the ball at the same time and dislodged it from each other, and that allowed Cordell Benton to dive back in on top of the ball. A big break for the Rams. If Lithia Springs recovers the ball there, it's going to be a long, hard uphill battle. As it is now, they've got a long way to go to pay dirt.
Rams first down on their own 13-yard line. And no gain here on the first down play, maybe a couple of yards for the Rams as they work out of that wishbone formation here. Running that time off the clock, that particular give on that first down play with a gain of probably 3 yards, so it'll be second down and 7.
That play actually gained a little more than it looked like. I guess the push of it got the yardage there.
One wide out toward the left side. Stephen Smith is your quarterback in the wishbone formation. He hands off, and Gaither is past the 20 to the 21-yard line. That may be a gain of 4 or 5 yards. But still well short of a first down. It'll bring up third down situation, and the Rams now forced to go to the air, we think.
Well, they've been very hesitant to go to the air so far tonight, having only thrown up a couple of passes. One of them that could have been a touchdown. That play looks pretty big right now, too.
Third down, long 2, and a short 3, depending on how you look at it. So they may decide to run the football. They do. Cordell Benton is tripped up and not going to get the first down. He was tripped up behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to be a gain of maybe a yard. So now fourth down, and here is an ever so huge play. If the Rams don't convert here, the thing may be over. It's 5:10 left in the game. The Rams trail by 1.
Great knifing play by the defender on that as he dove through and got Cordell Benton at the ankles, and that caused him to trip up and fall well short of the first down. looks like they are going to go ahead and go for it here on 4th down. This is really critical at this point in time because if they don't make it, the Lions will take over the ball deep in Ram territory.
The Rams will need every inch that they can get here on the 4th down play. 4:42 left. Did he get the first down? We think he did. The ball was given, we believe, to Patrick Gaither, who looks to have gained the first down. And yes, he did. That's huge.
Absolutely. He was stopped for basically no gain and a good, strong second effort as he continued to drive the legs, driving forward, picked up that first down. Maybe that'll get the Rams going a little bit of momentum. They got him a little more out of the hole, gives him a little more working room. They need to keep working the ball downfield. They need to protect the ball.
Down to 4.5 minutes remaining. Rams still very deep, and they haven't been able to gain very much per play. They're going to need some big plays. Stephen Smith is going to pass. It's up and complete. Near first down territory, Patrick Warren made the catch at the 36-yard line, a straight pattern as he was cutting across toward the line of scrimmage, and there will be a first down there for Newton County.
Well-executed play. Patrick Warren made a good cutting pattern coming across the middle, and Stephen Smith drilled it right on the numbers to him, right in front of the defender, and it was good for 11 yards and a first down.
4:10 left now. The Rams with the ball on their own 36, trying to march it down the field. They've got one wide out here. Gaither will take the handoff. He's at the 44, stays up to the 45, maybe the 46-yard line. They may have to call time as they measure. He's close to a first down.
Another just continuing to drive Patrick Gaither run there as it looked like he was going to be stopped, but he kept going. I believe he's just going to be short of the first down here.
9-yard gain, second down and 1 from the 45, 3:43 left. Smith will give to Gaither, who has the first down, and Canes for every inch. He's on top of a pile of folks and swimming across for another yard or two. He may be at the 48 after a gain of 3. That should be a first down for Newton County.
That's true. He was laying on top of the pile, had not actually hit the ground yet, so he kept trying to inch forward and get every inch he could. Moving close to midfield now. That actually would have been a good try maybe with that shorter yardage to try and go deep on it, but I guess with the sloppy conditions, they want to just keep moving the ball downfield.
3.5 minutes and 52 yards away, and here comes a penalty flag. We'll see who that's against. We certainly hope that's not against the Rams. With a first down and 10-yardage situation, Lithia Springs, though, the defense is clapping and celebrating, and it will be against the Rams, an offsides call.
The Rams have just had an inordinate amount of penalties today, and they have come at really critical times and hurt them in several occasions. This is certainly not a good time, but better than on 3rd or 4th down, but now they have to make up 5 extra yards on this first down play.
So now it's 1st and 15, 3:22 left in the quarter. Benton will take the handoff. Benton is to the 46-yard line. Here comes a penalty flag. That may be a type of late hit or an unsportsmanlike conduct because it was thrown right into the middle of the pile, and it will stop the clock at 3:15. That's a benefit to the Rams. The call goes against Lithia Springs, the face mask. That's huge, and that could give the Rams serious field position here.
That's true, and it was kind of, once again, what we call a senseless penalty. The play was basically all but dead, and somebody grabbed a hold of the face mask in the pile. And this looks like it's going to be the big one, 15 they're marching off. Big break for the Rams. But the reason that is such a severe penalty, a player can really be injured badly if someone grabs that face mask and jerks on it. They can suffer a neck injury. And I think it's a good penalty to call if it is grabbed like that.
3:15 left, and the Rams are slowly but surely marching it downfield. Stephen Smith takes the handoff from Marcelo Baines. The pass is up, incomplete, intended for Danny Sisko. That stops it at 3:09. Sisko was open out there, but the pass just a little bit over his head. It'll be a second down and 10-yard situation here for the Newton Rams football team. We have seen a little of everything tonight, and now we get an exciting finish to go with it, a heart-racing finish. These are the cardiac kids.
Are we going to have one of those, as they used to have in the football games, that had fantastic finishes?
An incomplete pass from Smith brings up second down from the Lithia Springs 39-yard line. Patrick Warren, your wide receiver, toward the left side. Gaither takes the handoff and gains a couple of yards, but probably nothing more. Straight up the middle, probably to the 37.
On the far sideline, Wes Billingsley over there kicking into the net in case he's needed. Hopefully, you'd like to think they won't need him, that they'll move the ball on into the end zone. But at this point in time, down by 1, they need whatever they can get. They're a little too far away right now to even be thinking field goal. This is a big play right here for them.
3rd down and 7 or 8 yards to go, depending on how you look at it. This could be the most crucial play of the game. And a timeout has been called. We don't know if that's by the officials or by one of the teams. The officials are conferring around the football. 2:37 is left, and the clock is stopped. with the officials conferring at the 37-yard line around the football. It'll be a third down situation, making a second down situation here for the Rams. Stephen Smith was incomplete, intended for Cisco. The second down play was a run up the middle for 2 yards. That would probably make it a third down situation and 8 yards to go for the first down. That's what we'd imagine. The sideline marker right in front of the Newton Rams sideline still reads second down. Scoreboard reads third down. And now the marker on the sideline also reads the same. They've got it straight. Now can the Rams get it straight? Third down, 8 yards to go. It's on the 37-yard line. Oh, for some blessed passing yards right here. 2 minutes, 34 seconds. Stephen Smith, the young quarterback, goes over his center. Takes the snap. He is going to keep it himself, maybe. Yes, he will. Will he have a first down? No, he will not. He is tackled at the 33-yard line. It's a couple of yards short of the first down territory. The Rams would like to push another 20 yards in and give West Billingsley a good field goal attempt, but they're not going to have a whole lot of time to do that. Smith with the third down run. The ball is spotted at the 32-yard line. That's a 5-yard gain. Here comes a fourth down play from the Lithia Springs 32-yard line. That's 49 yards for West Billingsley in the field goal attempt. Don't see that happening. The Rams will probably try to, well, either run it or pass it, probably run around the outside, doing something to get a couple of yards, anything.
And they have just used their first time out here with 2 minutes and 14 seconds to go in the ball game. And, of course, this really is the ball game right now. If they don't make a first down, Lithia Springs will be able to run out the clock. So what they need to do is just worry about making the 3.5 yards or so that they have here. And they still have enough time. There's still 2+ minutes, as we said, and they can move it down closer. I hope if they do it and they're lining up for West Billingsley, they need to make sure they get it on the right side of the field or more towards the center and stay away from the left hash mark.
He's been kind of ineffective from the left hash mark, so maybe Coach Cook will figure that into his philosophy of running as he tries to move down. But we've got to concentrate on this fourth down play. 3 yards short of a first down. 3 yards, the biggest 3 yards the Rams have had all year in any situation, any down, any play. Here it comes, fourth down. Stephen Smith over his center. The wishbone formation, ready to take the snap. Smith is going to keep it himself, and he does not have the first down. Lithia Springs brings him down. The man who made the initial hit, Stephen Edwards, and the few folks that are left here are going crazy because Lithia Springs has all but sealed the victory by bringing Stephen Smith down short of the first down.
Good defensive play. Maybe not good judgment by Stephen Smith in keeping it there. Looked like he might have had a better chance to go ahead and pitch it outside. But Lithia Springs holds, and things look rather rough for the Rams right now.
First down for Lithia Springs. They'll be on their own 32-yard line, coming down on 2 minutes remaining in this one. They'll try to take as much time as possible in between plays. The sophomore quarterback, Shane Head, looking toward the sideline, still looking toward the sideline. Now we've ticked down under 150 for the first down play. Shane Head will take it and give it to his back, who got probably a yard, probably not much more. And a timeout will be called by the Newton Rams. We're going to keep it here because this is not going to be a very long timeout. That gain, no yards there from Benjamin, the back.
Well, Kevin, another play that looks really big right now when the Rams were lining up for a field goal and there was a penalty against Lithia Springs moving the ball closer. They only had about a yard to go to make the first down. Instead of opting for the field goal, they tried and were rejected on fourth down. So that could have been 3 points. This game could look a whole lot different. There's several critical plays. That one lights up quite a bit, though.
The unfortunate part about a one-point game like this is you could probably point at half a dozen different plays as crucial turning points where if the Rams had done one thing differently, perhaps on the scoreboard right now, they would have more points than Lithia Springs. But you've got to remember, Coach Cook is making the decisions as he goes, and I'm sure he didn't have this in mind when he made the decision. So you can second guess all you want, but when you're the coach on the sidelines, he, I'm sure, made the decisions he felt was best for his team. Second down, 10 yards to go, a minute 40 seconds left here for Lithia Springs. The clock continues to tick, under a minute 40 now. Shane Head is the quarterback. He goes over his center. They give to Benjamin on a give over the center for a couple of yards. And Newton County takes another timeout. The ball is at the 34-yard line. While they take this timeout, we're going to keep it here. A 2-yard gain from Benjamin brings up a third down situation here for the Rams, who still have one glimmer of hope left. It's on the 34-yard line, third down and 8 yards to go. Now the Rams are going to bring a couple of assistant coaches out to talk to the Newton Ram defense. They've played a good, strong game. They've allowed only the 10 points. Unfortunately, the offense has kind of gone dead on them this game.
Yes, it really has. They've had trouble. Well, actually, they've kind of moved the ball fairly well between the 20s, but punching it into the end zone has been a problem. Just basically 2 plays on defense, 2 bad lapses where a 50-yard run and a 55-yard run that led directly to the field goal and the touchdown.
95 seconds on that clock. And you'll need to get the picture here as it's third down and 8 yards to go. Once again, Shane Head on the third down play. Sends his Lithia Springs in action. Lithia Springs team in action. Tackled at the 33-yard line on the give to Rob Stroud. And no gain on the play. The clock will continue to tick here. It'll bring up a fourth down situation. The ball will be on the 33-yard line, so it's a loss of 1. Lithia Springs brings their punting unit on the field. Back to receive is just one man, Cordell Benton. And I'll bet the Rams would not mind having one more play, just like that blocked punt that they had earlier on. We've under a minute now left to go in this ball game.
Great open field tackle by Torrance McCollum on that last play. They had a chance to break that possibly for a first down, and he came in, hit the man low, and brought him down.
The snap to Mullenix. It is up. The punt hits midfield. Is going to bounce there and stop at the 45-yard line, where it's touched, and with 38 seconds left, the Rams will take over on downs. That punt goes a total of 23 yards. Not a very good punt, but it puts the Rams still in kind of rough field position with only 38 seconds left in this affair. It'll be first down Rams on their own 45.
That punt hit kind of like a wedge and almost backed up a little bit, which was good for the Rams. A couple of quick pass plays and they might get in position.
Stephen Smith will take it. He's got 2 wideouts here. He is going to take it himself, go toward the sideline. He may have the first down. 25 seconds left. He wisely got out of bounds. A good, strong running play by Stephen Smith. He's past midfield, number 1. Number 2, it looked like he got out of bounds. And number 3, that young man may have picked himself up a first down. Now they're going to spot it farther back at the 47-yard line, so it will be short of the first down.
And only 25 ticks left on the clock.
Second down now and a couple of yards left to go with 25 seconds left. The ball is on the Lithia Springs 47-yard line. The Rams trailing by 1 tantalizing point. A one-back set here for the Rams. Stephen Smith fumbled the football. Lithia Springs may have fallen on top of the football. They have. This one is over with, folks. Stephen Smith fumbles the football in the snap from center. A little bit of inexperience possibly at quarterback there for Smith, and that'll do it tonight. For this ball game, Lithia Springs can sit on the football and end this one.
Tough break there. He just pulled out a little quick. Normally, Brett Mask is centering for Stephen Smith on the play, but on that particular play, well, on this particular series, Marcelo Barnes had come back in at center, and normally the two don't play together, and they appeared to have a mishandling on the snap. The prior snap, it looked like there was a little bit of a problem on the exchange, too, but Stephen Smith was able to pull away.
So it's first down. Lithia Springs at their own 47-yard line. All they've got to do in this situation with 17 seconds left, sit on the football and maintain the 1-point victory. This has got to be absolutely heartbreaking for the Newton Ram players and the Ram fans and everyone involved, especially the players. They have got a long ride home.
Absolutely, and basically coming into this game, you felt like this was a game you should win, and you need to win going into your sub-region play. But just like the Rams baseball team when they had that heartbreaking loss early in the year to Walton, and they went into sub-region already having tasted that defeat, and that made them a better team, and they had the great season they did.
This may be the wake-up call that the Rams might be looking for, because next week they take on the number 11 team in the state in Winder Barrow, and they'll be taking them on at Winder Barrow. That's a big game. Quarterback falls on the ball, Shane Head, and the clock ticking off as the Rams are out of timeouts. So the clock ticks away, and the fans that are remaining for the Lithia Springs team are about to storm the field. The clock has expired, and Lithia Springs wins this ball game by a final score of 10-9. This is going to be a tough one to take if you're the Newton Rams. We're going to be back to analyze after this on WGFS AM 1430.
When you need insurance, here's the first thing you should do. Call your auto owner's agent. They are people just like you.
Join the millions who save billions the annuity way. Your auto owner's insurance agent can show you a safe and systematic way to save. Auto owners no-load tax-deferred annuities credit high interest earnings to your savings program. All auto owners' investments are of the highest quality. No junk bonds or real estate ventures. See your no-problem auto owner's agent and save the annuity way.
Call your auto owner's agents. They are people just like you.
See the Steele Jones Insurance Agency, located on Floyd Street, Southeast in Covington. Or call 786-9213.
Auto owners, the no-problem people.
Carroll's Floor Covering of Covington has everything you need for covering any floor in your home: carpet, vinyl, tile, or hardwood. With 35 years experience, interior designer available. Custom work is our specialty. We're not the largest, just the nicest. Carroll's Floor Covering is inviting you to come by and take a look at the many samples we have in stock to choose from. Carroll's Floor Covering, located at 1393 Access Road in Covington. 786-7700, 786-7700.
Unfortunately, people don't always tell the truth, and most of the time a deal that seems too good to be true probably is. Lately, there are a lot of people in the cellular phone business, and you want to deal with a company that's reliable, dependable, and most importantly, experienced. In this area, that's easy. East Metro Communications, an authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular, can help you choose a phone and monthly rate that's right for you. East Metro Communications stocks a large selection of mobile, portable, and transportable cellular phones and accessories. They're located on Highway 278, just a quarter mile east of the hospital here in Covington. Or call them at 786-6796. Authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular, the new name for Pactel.
And we are back at the Lion's Den in Lithia Springs, and unfortunately for the Newton Rams, it turned out to be a true Lion's Den, a den of iniquity, if you will. Perhaps, as we said, this could be the wake-up call. Kevin Holden, what do the Rams need to do now?
Well, the Rams will now take on 6 straight sub-region opponents. There is not a weak one in the bunch. There are 3 teams in the top 11 in the state, Rockdale and Shiloh, both very tough teams that have been quite underrated. Rockdale is a team that's been off some this year. They may be the weakest team in the sub-region, and they're not bad. And you're dealing with the Berkmar Patriots, a team that's improved over last year. Again, we hope this is nothing more than a learning experience for the Rams. We hope that maybe the long road trip or maybe the conditions stop the offense tonight. The Rams lose this one 10-9. The offense didn't put a touchdown across. The touchdown that came on the scoreboard was when Telly Smith blocked a punt, ran it for a touchdown. That was how the Rams got their points on the scoreboard, and of course, in addition, the field goal by West Billingsley. Now, you can point to several things in this game, and the first thing, obviously, you could point to is the missed extra point. That hurts quite a bit.
Absolutely, and once again, as we mentioned earlier, you really can't fault West Billingsley or the holder on the play. It was really a bad snap. It rolled back there. They did get the ball down, got the kick up, but it stayed outright. And at the time, it didn't appear to be much of a problem because that made the score. The score was 9-0, and you figured that the Rams were going to continue to march. They were moving the ball fairly well, but that was about it after that.
And the Rams, as far as offense is concerned, had some trouble executing. In the first quarter, in the first half, they had a couple of passes that could have gone for touchdowns where they had some trouble with executing the fundamentals. Then in the second half, problems as they went deep into Lithia Springs territory, but then got stopped. There was a play, 4th down from the Lithia Springs 5. Cordell Benton was stopped for a 5-yard loss. That ended that drive. A couple of other times there was a 4th down play from the Lithia Springs 32. Very, very late in the game. Stephen Smith, no yards on the gain, and he was stopped there. There was a 4th down from the Lithia Springs 29 of the Rams' first drive, and Adrian Carr was stopped for a 3-yard loss. So for the Rams, offensively, they're going to need to regroup, I believe, and probably have a pretty tough week of practice this upcoming week as they prepare for Winder Barrow.
And perhaps the Rams missed Jason Robbins more than what they thought they would.
That is absolutely right. Well, we'll see Jason Robbins back, cross your fingers, we hope, next Friday as the Rams take on the Bulldogs, that's with 2 G's, of Winder Barrow High School. Well, Bill, the dynamic duo has brought you a football broadcast. Wish we could bring you better news, but next Friday we're going to hope for better news up at Winder Barrow High School. Thank you, and we appreciate your help tonight.
It's been a pleasure to be here, and I'll look forward to going to Winder Barrow again, trying to fill the shoes of the big dog, and I guess I'll see you tomorrow morning for the Saturday Morning Super Trivia Spectacular.
That most certainly will be right. From 9 until 10, we'll be bringing you that show. And also for executive producer Todd Chapman, the most patient man, I think, on the earth right now, considering all the stuff that happened tonight. We had a long rain delay because of the lightning and the thunder and all kinds of other stuff that happened. But unfortunately, when the dust settled and the mud was completely cleaned away, your final score, the Lithia Springs Lions 10, the Newton Rams 9. So long, everybody.